changed it.
Man, I like that song.
I don't recognize it. Is it a good band?
It's a shitty band. Crappy
Is
band.
it? How long did it stay together? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. Steve, how long did we stay with Kevin? We were together for a couple of years.
Couple years.
Hey,
Yeah.
we did a couple cool things. We got the gold record award from England for one of our songs. That was cool.
England doesn't count.
Hey,
Welcome,
guys here in
everybody.
the
England
chat.
very much so counts.
Welcome. We are long overdue for a live one, right, B?
Yes, we are.
All right, Steve. I think you got some stuff you got to clean up a little bit, right?
I do. I just want to announce that on January 4th, we are going to do a co-broadcast. So that means it's going to be on our channel and on their channel, and we're gonna there. Yeah. You can tell it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be live with Lacey Jean on X Video Spaces. So it's again a co-broadcast on her X Video Spaces on Twitter, and she is at Lacey J Meeks, and also on our LVCopsTV channel. January 4th at noon Pacific time.
She's like a true crime writer type, analyst, investigator. Should be fun.
And she's pro cop too.
She's very pro police. Yep, very pro military. It's gonna be should be a good time. Should be a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
So everybody feeling a little bit better. Everybody's sick. That's why we're doing this from home. Everybody.
Yeah, check this
I'm
out,
not-
bro. I went. Let me say this,
Gonzo's
B. I'm
sick.
sorry for interrupting, B. But I was sitting at the doctor's office, and I was reading the medical book there, and it was talking about diarrhea and how it's genetic.
Cha. Genetic.
Genetic, yeah, because it runs in your genes. Yo!
Wouldn't be complete without Gonzo's joke.
Let's go. Let's go.
So everybody's been sick. So this way we're staying away from each other, but we're still being able to do a lot.
Yeah. So
And we had a lot to do today.
Yeah, we got a lot to cover today. We're going to be shooting for a long time.
Yeah.
But let me set this up. We had a tragedy in Madison.
I know.
Was it a Catholic school? Religious school?
It was a Christian school, Abundant Christian school.
Right. One of their own students, a 15-year-old girl named Samantha, goes in there and starts to wreak a little havoc.
Yeah.
And it's a sad state of events. We're not going to play any video as far as, school stuff, anything like that, but we're going to play the news coverage of it. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because, Brian, I grew up in Idaho, and every truck in the parking lot from 8th grade, we could drive when we were 14 years old, right? Every truck in that parking lot had a gun rack and 3 or 4 guns in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't recall any school shootings when I was growing up. Not one.
Yeah. I think the actual first school shooting took place in like 1984. But it was a girl who lived across the street from the school, and she had a hunting rifle, and she was actually shooting from her house, from her window. She actually had a good sniper position. She was shooting from inside her house out across to the school that were the kids in at recess. So that was like the first school shooting. It was like 82 or 84. It was
that
like
here?
No, it was like Middle America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
And see,
probably
that's weird because I grew up in Philly, right? And Philly's a hard town, right? Now everybody's probably got guns. But when I grew up, see, you grew up, everybody had a gun. Where I grew up in Philly, I never even saw a gun other than my
yeah,
dad's gun, because my dad was a cop. So other than
yeah,
that gun and the guns that his buddies had, I never even saw a gun. Nobody had a gun at our school ever. I never saw
yeah,
someone carrying a gun all through high school. Never once. No, it was
yeah.
street fighting. If you got into a fight, you punch each other a
Sure.
few times, and that's it. Yeah, now everybody wants to kill each other or
Yep.
unalive each other. Not
Everybody
good.
has to have a weapon.
Yeah, not good. So yeah, definitely times have changed.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's no social interaction anymore with kids. It's always over social media, and you get cyberbullied, and you get keyboard warriors, that wouldn't know how to fight themselves out of a weight pepper bag, and they come and they settle their differences with mom and dad's gun. They get it out of their
Yeah.
house and think that that's going to solve problems, and it doesn't. It just creates problems. But so let's get into this. You ready?
Yeah. Let's
Let's
do
roll,
it.
Steve.
Evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Dee Dee Gatton, and tonight the Madison, Wisconsin community is in mourning after a teacher and student were killed in a shooting at a Christian school. Police say the shooter also died. Let's get straight over to Jeff Harris at
Something happened.
Yeah. Well, it froze.
the live desk, and police
there
just
we go.
shared an update.
It's
Jeff,
unfroze.
what are you learning?
Some new information just into the live desk, Dee Dee. We've now learned that the suspected shooter is 15-year-old Samantha Rupp, now who you see right here on the left-hand portion of your screen. A teacher and a student are now dead. 6 others were hurt. Police say she planned the attack in advance. Police are now combing through her family's home, already confirming they found a manifesto planning this crime. Police say a handgun was used in this shooting. A second-grade student was the first to call 911. Within minutes, police arrived and found the suspect dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now police are trying to trace that handgun.
I was getting ready for lunch, so it was basically lunchtime. And then I just heard sobbing, and there was a teacher, and she was screaming like, "Ah, my leg, help, help."
Do you know that teacher well?
Mm-hmm.
What was it like to hear that? Were you scared?
I was really scared, and I was really sad.
Now, the school doesn't have metal detectors nor resource officers. School officials say they had trained earlier this year about what to do during an active shooter situation. As of right now, the identities of the victims have not yet been released. 6 others were injured, including 2 students who are still fighting for their lives tonight. A vigil is scheduled for tomorrow.
Tonight, people in Madison, Wisconsin came together for a candlelight vigil after the deadly shooting at Abundant Life Christian School yesterday.
Police are still searching for answers as the community tries to heal. Terrence Lee is here with new information.
Daughter's got this new photo behind me here. Shows the shooter at a shooting range with her father back in August, offering more insight into her experience with guns. Earlier today, the police chief said the shooting didn't come down to just one thing. They're looking at possible bullying. Writings, too, that the shooter left behind to try and understand what was going on. Earlier this evening, dozens stood outside the Wisconsin State Capitol, candles in hand, arms around one another, as they remembered the 2 lives lost and showed support to those still recovering. 2 of the victims are in critical condition right now. Monday, police say the shooter walked in a study hall just before lunch and started shooting, killing 2 people before turning the gun on herself. Right now, investigators are talking to the shooter's family and looking through her online activity.
We know a document has been widely shared on social media. At this time, we cannot verify its authenticity. We have detectives working today to determine where this document originated and who actually shared it online. At this time, we cannot verify the document. We ask that you not share the document or spread any information that may be false.
Police still haven't identified the victims. Memorials will be held all week, though, and flags in Wisconsin will be at half-staff until Sunday to honor the teacher and student who died. Dawn.
But court records are telling us more about the shooter.
The 15-year-old school shooter is the only child of divorced parents, and according to court records, she was in therapy. But one longtime neighbor tells Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson he never saw this coming.
This is where a school shooter grew up. A modest ranch home on Madison's north side. Front door temporarily replaced with a blanket after law enforcement officers forced their way inside on Monday. Born in 2009, the shooter's legal name is Natalie Lynn Ruppnow, though classmates may have known her as Samantha.
She was always great.
Art Zogbaum lives across the street.
Well, she was just a young little girl playing with other girls. We had a little swimming pool in the neighbors' thing, and they were over there playing on that one. We sit around every once in a while, and she always seemed really nice.
According to court records, Natalie once attended Madison public schools, but her father more recently moved her to Abundant Life Christian School.
He was talking one day about he's changing and getting her into that school because he thought it'd be better for her.
Fox 6 investigators obtained records showing Natalie was in therapy, though the reason isn't clear. Her parents, Jeff and Melissa Ruppnow, were married twice and divorced twice, most recently in 2021. Her father had primary placement, and according to a family court mediation agreement, her mom and dad had a generally positive co-parenting relationship.
Jeff was worked really hard with his daughter.
Zogbaum says the girl he knew was friendly and kind, a sharp contrast to the teenager now known as a deadly school shooter.
She ever seemed like the kind of person who would do something like this?
No. Shocked the living hell out of me.
Duh.
The last thing I expected it would be her.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and stop that, Steve.
I hate when they interview neighbors, and it's just so poorly done. You know, the fact that because they all say the same thing. Since I was a kid with active shooters or school shooters till now, nothing's changed. They all say the same thing. Oh, I didn't see this coming. They acted like a totally normal person because they are a normal person.
Yeah.
What is normal other than the setting on a dryer? Normal for you might be different, not normal for somebody else. But I hate when they interview people, and that child that they interviewed during the news. Dude, that was a sad attempt at grabbing folks for the whole get rid of our guns agenda, because you don't interview an 8-year-old child.
An 8-year-old, no.
You don't interview her on the news. And the parents should have been like, hell no, you're not interviewing my kid on the news. She just went through the most traumatic experience of her life. Now you want her to remember it and then start to relive it while she's on the news. Did you see how she was dancing?
Yep.
See how she was moving? She was nervous. She was completely uncomfortable. They gave her that ice cream because they thought maybe it would calm her down during the interview. But all the news out there, media, don't interview kids. It's a horrible, horrible look. And parents, don't let the news interview your child. Don't let them put them on TV. It's not 5 minutes of fame. Trust me, it's horrible.
Well, I think that's where the problem lies, Brian, is the failure of parenting, you know?
Yeah.
Back in the day, you know, I mean, there wasn't social media back in the day, so kids had to go outside and play, you know?
Yeah.
And interact. Get that socialism, right?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Kids nowadays, I think when we were cops, I think that the number one reason for problems at school was either bullying or boyfriend, girlfriend stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Bullying or relationship issues.
Yeah.
So it's such a shame that I feel horrible for the people that were unalived. I feel horrible for the 15-year-old girl too. I feel horrible for the shooter. What she was going through, that she felt like she couldn't reach out to somebody or even to her parents and let them know what kind of pain she was going through, because it takes a lot to actually, clearly she handled weapons. She knew weapons. She knew firearms. So she had a respect for them, and she knows what they're going to do. It's horrible that she felt like there was nobody that she could talk to or trust instead of just doing that.
Yeah, but we're coming to find out that she was maybe influenced by an older man in California, correct?
Correct. Yeah, 20-year-old. Yeah. Yeah. What was his name again?
Alexander Bendoff or something like that.
Pandoff, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said he was going to go and have explosive devices and firearms as well, and go to a government building. So yeah, we don't know if was it some kind of anarchy type thing? Was she being bullied?
I don't know, B, because she went to this new school, so she couldn't have been there too long, right? I don't know the details. Maybe our chat can tell us, but how much of an issue can you have in that short of a period of time? The problem with social media, Brian, is that you're talking to people that you don't know, and they'll befriend you, and you'll trust them, and they'll say, "Hey, and there's predators online, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They'll pick out a certain person who fits their criteria, and they'll start molding them, crafting them. Who knows how long he's been talking to her?
Yeah.
But he might have planted a seed. Hey, I'm going to do the exact same thing here, and I'm sick of this world. I'm going to take care of the government, whatever the case may be.
Could be.
One thing leads to another, right?
Yeah.
But
social media is definitely not good. I remember. I'll share a quick story. I have 4 kids. None of my kids can date until they're over 18. Period. Even my son. Nobody dates anybody because most adults can't handle relationships. So how do you expect these young kids to, right? So anyway, here down in Southern Highlands, I had a girl, 13-year-old girl. I get a call. I got to go to her house. It's a dead body call. It's suicide. I get to the house. 13-year-old girl hung herself in the closet.
Yeah.
Because her boyfriend broke up with her on Facebook.
Yeah. Yep.
And I said, that's when I came to the realization.
Public.
I came to the realization that'll never happen to my kids. That'll never happen to my kids because kids can't handle it. They can't. And now this poor girl, imagine being her parents. I felt so horrible for the parents. Because all I could imagine was that was my kid laying there, So again, social media, not good for kids. It's not good. Everything you do is on camera and film, and they post everything they do, and life's not supposed to be like that.
The thing is let me say this. I'm sure that there's a smart person out there in the world that can create a program, an app that you get your kids' information, plug it in there, and anytime there's any type of cyberbullying, it'll set an alarm off, right? Just something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it could happen. But bullying's always been that way since day one.
Well,
right? I've been bullied. You've been bullied. Well, maybe not you, but I have because I
got bullied. Yeah. No, bullies with men and with boys and men, it's different. That we bully physical.
Women are vicious.
Women bully on social media.
Yeah.
That they're not going to attack you physically. 99% of the time, they're going to go after you on social media and destroy you. So there's the difference. So we don't know if they found anything that, she was going through stuff online. Who knows? But either way, you can't look for logic in an illogical act. Like I always, you're not going to find it. There's no reason to go in there and start shooting people. Now, do we even know? We don't know. At first, when I heard the story, I thought maybe, okay, she shot. It said when I saw the news, it said she shot 2 people, 2 students, and then the teacher. So I assume, and then she turned the gun on herself. So I assume that she went in there, shot the 2 bullies, maybe the teacher. She didn't like the teacher, got her too, and then did herself and spared everybody else. But I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case either. I think she has a manifesto, right? Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly, you're right. Yeah. So that's just horrible. It's a shame. And because of the human element, again, well, even if we banned guns, kids will always find a way. Okay.
Yeah.
Prisoners aren't allowed to have guns, but they still kill each other. Yes. Or they still unalive each other. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
There you go. In jails, there's no guns. There's barely any weapon, but they make stuff. You could ban all guns. It would still happen.
Yep.
We could all be the same race and it'll still happen.
Yeah.
It could all be men or just women. It will still happen. Why? Because we're human beings. And it's just the way it is.
Hey, Steve, can you jump in for a second?
Yes, sir.
Hey, do you want to see if anybody wants to call in and talk about this for a minute or two? Throw it down in the chat.
Let me
maybe a kid psychologist.
A psychologist.
Any shrinks out there that want to call in and
I got see my shirt.
Try that. Oh, small town. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I've been rocking this LV Cops.
Let's go, boys.
Because it's freezing in Vegas, so I've been wearing this at work. It's
I
nice.
put the link in the chat. I got to pop off for a second in order to pin it, but it's there, and I'll be right back.
Okay. So things have just evolved. I think kids have matured a lot faster than when you and I were 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
Kids
there's
can't be
so
kids
much more.
nowadays.
No, and they want everything now instead of, blood, sweat, and tears working for it. You got this OnlyFans shit that, all you have to be is 18 years old and you're making hundreds of $1,000s doing what you're not supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah, you're giving up your soul, though.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, and that's for people that just care about money. If you only go through your whole life caring about money and thinking that money is going to do everything for you, you're going to have a sad life.
Life
'Cause money,
choices.
money is a very small part of life. I mean, yeah, of course we all need to make it because you need to survive and live, but you don't need an abundance of it. You don't need, I don't know. I always look at the Lord gives me what he gives me, and that's what I need. There's a reason I'm not rich, because I'd probably do something stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay, I got that pinned, G. So if you want to throw out to the chat what you want them to do, the link is there. They can click on it and join us via StreamYard.
Well, if they want to chit chat of this, just the video we just watched, to see if they had any experiences, or maybe to give their advice on it, what they think. Maybe they know a little bit more about it. They can chime in and see what they've got to say.
Yeah, the cops didn't even get there. It happened so fast. The cops didn't even have a chance to respond. And everybody knows, for an active shooter, for the police response is very simple. We go right to the shooter. Period.
Yeah.
We have to stop. You have to stop the bad person with the gun. Then you render aid to everybody else. So there's no questions about that. And I'm pretty sure the cops are probably ready to go in, handle business. That's also one of the reasons I thought maybe it was she had intended targets. Because an active shooter is someone who's randomly, systematically shooting because you want to cause the most amount of harm as possible.
Yeah.
So to me, it almost sounded like she went in, got 2, and then 3, and then ended herself.
Yeah. There's a total of 5 victims that she shot.
Right, and that's where I didn't hear that at first. So, and then when I heard that, okay, it looks like she was kind of just aiming at everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that video, Steve? What's your impression?
It's horrible. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You obviously feel bad for all of the victims and their families.
Yeah.
And of course, there's got to be something crazy going on with the family of the shooter. There's no good side to it.
There isn't.
And it happens over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it will.
And I mean, maybe we're even at fault here for talking about it, because it seems like the more we hear about them, the more they happen again. Like, ooh, I can do that too.
Well, you can't really fix the problem. I mean, physically, mentally, it is what it is. Did she have something going on up here with mom and dad getting married and divorced twice? School bullying, social media not going the way she wants it. Maybe has boyfriend or girlfriend problems.
Everybody has something going on.
Absolutely.
Everybody has struggles. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we all deal with it differently. And unfortunately, there are some who just decide, before I go, I'm going to take as many people, or the people that wrong me, or just random people, with me, and it sucks. It really sucks.
Well, in this day and age, if you have a mom and dad in the household, that's awesome. But mom and dad usually have to work because it's so expensive to live, right? And they're probably get home from work, they're tired, they don't have that social time to spend with their kids, which was lacking, to see what's going on in their lives. They just don't. I remember my mom and dad, when I would get home, go for practice, and they'd be at my practice watching me practice. They're always with us, watching us, and they don't have that supervision that they do these days. It's gone. They just let them live their life at the age of, can you hold an iPhone? You're on your own,
Yeah, I agree. My mom didn't work, and they were all up in our business to a certain age, and then my wife doesn't work. She stays home with our kids,
Not everybody has that.
I
Not
know. I
everybody
know.
has that luxury. We got to
I
make
know.
ends meet.
I know. I know. I know. But you also, but again, I've had to make a lot of sacrifices to just have one income. You know, I can't have the big $100,000 truck and the $500,000 house and all that. I can't afford that. So you have to make sacrifice. You have to see what is it worth to me. And my wife and I we knew from day one. We were like, all right, she's going to stay home. So because that was worth it to us. And again, I knew the sacrifices would have to be there, but it's worth it. It was worth it to us. And every family's got to figure that out on their own.
Yeah.
You know, but again, it comes with um, the cost of everything going up. You know, Vegas. You know, I bought my house, 10 years ago for a quarter of what it's worth now, and that again, that's the problem. So now they're making it where people can't afford to have one income and survive.
Yeah,
it's definitely hard. That's for sure.
Of course. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't blame anybody if they have to have both people working. You have to figure it out on your own,
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we have no takers. You want to roll into the next video, Steve?
Well, hang on. No one's popped in yet, but we do have. We've got the Goodmans has gifted 5 LVCopsTV memberships.
Thank you,
Goodmans.
Thank you.
Regular viewer at all our lives, so thank you so much.
Yes, they are.
And I saw some comments here. Let me. There was one where, here we go, from Christy, a painter's daughter. My grandson's high school had a shooter in his cafeteria. He was so affected, he refused to eat lunch or even go to the cafeteria for 6 months. So trauma, and I don't know if her grandson was even in the cafeteria, but just the fact that it was at his school created trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. That's why these kids, when they see stuff like this, that's why I'm so against them interviewing that child on the news. You don't do that to kids, man. You don't make them relive it. She's going to relive it anyway. Don't make her do that on camera in front of the world.
And it's out there forever. It's on social media. It's out there forever.
Yeah, and the parents probably thought it would be cool, and it's not cool.
Hey, let me get this ready out here. Later on in the show, we've got something for our viewers to participate in. And I'm going to say this. Those who participate, I will personally buy them a shirt from our store. How about that? I'm
Can
throwing
I
the
participate?
gauntlet. No, I'm throwing the gauntlet down. All right.
Hands-on parenting is crucial. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. She was in our life big time, but hovering from Madigan, Florida.
That's what you do. You gotta know what your kids are doing.
The thing about life, there's no friggin' manual.
No.
You have a kid and you just do the best you can and you get all the information you can. But no matter what you do, there's so many variables that you don't know. That's why hindsight is so great, but you can't have hindsight up front.
Yeah, that'd be nice, right? I'm buying some lottery tickets.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's very different. If you talk to my oldest versus my youngest, they would say they were raised the same, but also very differently.
Yeah.
Because when you have your first one, you don't know what to do. You panic. You're freaking out. By the time you have your third and fourth, you're like,
You want to jump off the bridge? Go ahead.
I got this shit down. But you're also a lot more lenient too. The first one, you're always a little paranoid, and then you get more lenient,
Yeah. So
we got Melissa B in the chat. She says it's a sacrifice, but my husband and I were willing to live differently to have me home to homeschool our kids.
Yeah. Homeschooling is big too. I firm believer in homeschooling. Because I've watched all these. I've actually studied a lot about schooling and a lot about kids, especially when I was a cop. And boys learn completely different than girls. And this is scientifically proven. They always want to say follow the science. Well, it's scientifically proven that you take a 10 to a 15-year-old boy, you make him sit in a desk for 8 hours, and they wonder why he can't sit still. And then they want to drug him because he can't sit still, because they want him to be a good little boy. You sit there, be the cog in the wheel called the system, and you're going to learn how to just sit and shut up for 8 hours. And then they wonder why the kid's like this. I'm 53 years old and I can barely sit still for 5 friggin' minutes. boys learn differently than girls. Boys should not be sitting behind desks. Boys should be out doing stuff. That's how they should learn. Get
Learn
out
how to
there
be a man.
working on cars, learning how to change tires, learning how to farm. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that boys can learn to do because we're more kinetic learners. We want to do it. I'm a doer. I want to see it and then I want to do it. I don't want to talk about it for 6 hours. It's the same when we're at work, when we're talking about clearing rooms and we're doing stuff, right? I don't want to talk about clearing
Let's
rooms.
do it.
I want to clear the room. I want to do it. I got to feel it. I want to get in there and get it done.
Yeah. We had Future Farmers of America. We had home ec for our girls, learn how to be a woman,
Right.
cook, clean, sew, and all that stuff. I don't know if they even have that stuff these days.
No,
man.
I mean, what's the big deal? You're teaching people. Guys nowadays don't even know how to change a tire.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be kidding me. When I was in high school, we had woodworking, we had shop. You learned how to check the oil, change the brakes on your car. You learn how to change a tire. Like these guys taught you a lot. We got to do all kinds of cool stuff. Nowadays, they just want you to sit there, shut up, don't say a word, and then if you act up, they drug you to calm you down. And so to me, schools are just almost getting to be a complete waste of time. I homeschooled my kids, and my kids studied what they studied, and they went further with what they really were interested in. Instead of having to sit there and be held back, they can go forward. Like my one daughter, when she was like 6, she wanted to study bees. So what happened? She read like 15 books on bees. She's a bee expert. Like in school, they wouldn't let you just sit there and do that for 6 hours and read any book you want. You got to stay focused. So again, but everybody's got to do what they feel is good.
Tough world.
But my kids know guns. My kids have shot guns. They respect guns. That's the biggest thing. They have to respect the weapon and know what it can do. It's the kids that pick it up, with their parents' drawer, and they're curious, and those are the ones who usually end up, unaliving a family member or a friend because they don't understand it, right?
Well, I'm sure Samantha knew the.
Well, she did, of course.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm just talking about sometimes, the mistakes that happen in houses that we've been to, right? And those are horrible just as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, if your kid understands it and respects it, knows what it can do, knows that when he pulls that trigger, that bullet's not coming back.
It's not coming back.
It's going to destroy whatever is in front of it.
Yep.
They won't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
But again, parenting, like Steve said, there's no book for it. So everybody's going to do what they're used to and kind of how they were raised, right?
Exactly.
It kind of goes by, well, this is what my parents did to me, so I'm going to do it to my kids. It worked for me, but maybe it didn't work for you. Like my parents, I do a lot. I didn't have the greatest parents in the world, so I'll say it. Usually, when I'm doing something, whatever my parents would have done, I'll do the opposite. I think, what would my parents do in this situation? I'll do the opposite.
I'll do the opposite. Makes sense. It worked out. It worked out fine.
It's worked. It worked for 28 years. So.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so the next portion of the scenarios, or
no,
not yet.
No, not yet.
No.
The wheels will be after the next portion.
Okay. So
let me set this up with B, and then we can roll it.
Okay. Want me to get off screen?
You can do whatever you want. You're the producer.
Do what you want, son.
Hey, Brian, what was our role as police officers? What did we hire on for?
Serve and protect, help people.
Okay. Elaborate more on help people. What does that mean?
Means you got to help them. When they call 911, you got to be the light in their darkness of their life. So helping them could be giving them advice, giving them a ride, giving them money, helping them out of a dangerous situation, help them out of a dangerous relationship, just being there for them, being the one person that they can call and they can count on some help.
I used to think myself as a beacon, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Somebody they can go to, right?
Yep.
That's how I always thought of myself, as a beacon of light, and not necessarily that, but I'm there to help. That's why I took the job. So
correct.
I don't know if you've seen this video or not. I hope you haven't, but this is going to blow your mind, okay? Because here in Vegas, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department sometimes work taxis. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right?
100%.
So let's roll this video, Steve.
All right.
They didn't protect my sister, and she's dead because of them.
A duty to protect and a duty to act. Most police officers take that oath very seriously. But tonight, First Alert 4 Investigates is revealing for the first time ever accusations from state officials of inaction from some Missouri officers in incidents that ended in terrible tragedy.
And now the Attorney General says they should be held accountable. Chief Investigative Reporter Lauren Traeger brings us this exclusive story, Reckless Disregard. On a dark Missouri Boot Heel highway lit up by blue and red, Michelle Anders said one of her last words. Please.
Oh my God. God help me.
Her sister Michelle says the mother of two was fun-loving and caring. Now she is gone.
I get to spend the rest of my life without her. And so do her children. You know, she doesn't get to see them get married. She doesn't get to be a grandmother. She doesn't get to be anything because of them.
Shortly before midnight in July last year, not far from the Arkansas border, Dunklin County Sheriff's Deputy Joseph Philpott, seen on video, and his partner were dispatched for a woman lying near the road.
Do you need an ambulance first and foremost?
No, I've been there, done that.
Obscured from view, Michelle tells him she's been beaten.
I'm trying to get away from him because...
Who's him?
The person who did this to me, okay?
When she sits up, Deputy Nicholas Cobb, whose video is on, sees she is hurt. Michelle, at times struggling to talk, she tells them she's walking from Little Rock to Chicago. She's already been to a hospital, has papers on her showing she has a broken shoulder blade.
The knot on your head looks fresh.
Yeah, these are new.
What happened there?
After the fact that it happened, you know, I didn't press any more charges. I'm just trying to get away from him.
In their official reports, both Cobb and Philpott say Michelle did not appear to be intoxicated, was not slurring her words nor stumbling, but they noted a bottle of alcohol sticking up from her purse. Philpott's body camera is not on. Cobb is in his car for much of the encounter. When Cobb gets back out, Michelle is holding her arm.
So where are you wanting to go? It's what I'm trying to get from you. Are you just going to live out on the street? What?
No, I'm not a street person, sir.
So what is your goal? What are you trying to get to?
She tells them she has no phone, no Google Maps. In his report, Philpott says she told him she did not have any money, so he told her the nearest town was a few miles away.
Would you guys mind just dropping off here?
Our policy normally is we don't give rides, but let me check something real quick.
In a whispered side conversation, Philpott asks Cobb,
Not really.
He said she walked from Little Rock to here.
She can walk.
keep walking, they tell her.
Stay off this white line, or you're probably going to get run over. There's another gas station up the road about 2 miles, so.
Can you please take me there?
We can't give you a ride. I don't have enough room to put all your stuff in my car.
Please.
I don't have nowhere to put your stuff.
Elisa, so pained by that please.
Please. You know, begging them, not asking, begging them to help her.
You're welcome.
Michelle thanks the officers as they walk away. 13 minutes after they leave her, this haunting image from a semi-truck's camera. Michelle sitting in the middle of the road, making no attempt to get up, and the truck hits her.
911, what's the address of your emergency? Did you hit this person or? Yeah, I mean, there was nothing that I could do. So you need an ambulance there? Yes. Well, I don't think an ambulance is going to help.
Near her body, the bags Cobb claimed they didn't have room for, now stacked neatly on the side of the road.
My sister didn't want to die. She was not suicidal. I mean, even in jail, you get phone calls. Even in jail, you get water. They left her with absolutely no hope.
Do you think she would be alive today if they had helped her?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because she would have called me, and I would have driven 1,000,000 miles to get her.
Did they fail to protect and serve?
Yes, they did. Totally. I mean, who are they protecting? They didn't protect my sister, and she's dead because of them.
And And Missouri's Attorney General now accusing the deputies of a gross deviation from the standard of care. Last month, they filed a complaint asking to formally discipline Cobb and Philpott's peace officers' licenses. Those documents say the deputies acted with, quote, reckless disregard for Michelle's life by leaving her on the side of the major thoroughfare at night, despite knowing that she was a potential domestic violence victim, severely injured and intoxicated. The complaint goes on to say they failed to summon medical assistance, didn't provide her with appropriate resources, and did not transport her to a place of safety.
They need to get right with Jesus, in my opinion, because they failed her.
First Alert 4 Investigates confirmed both Cobb and Philpott are still employed with the sheriff's office. The sheriff saying he would not discuss the case. Elisa shocked they still have a badge. She thinks they should be charged with a crime.
My sister's blood is on their hands because they did not do their job. They took an oath to serve and protect, and they did none of that. They laughed in her face, said they didn't have room for her things, and she was dead 13 minutes later.
But Michelle's case, sadly, is not the only alarming instance like it First Alert 4 Investigates has recently uncovered. Similar disciplinary complaint documents filed by the state say 2 St. Louis police officers, Ty Warren and Austin Frazier, committed what the state again called a reckless disregard, and more, they said, quote, an act of baseness, vileness, and depravity. They had been called to Forest Park in September 2023 after a call from a person who said they were going to commit suicide. Warren and Frazier found 29-year-old Ureoan Rodriguez Rivera under a tree, shot but still breathing. According to the complaint, Warren told Frazier, "We need to take this MFer then," to which Frazier replied, "We ain't taking this expletive. Let's cruise around and come back." The scene, according to the police incident report, was just off Kings Highway, very close to a major hospital. The complaint documents say they never provided medical assessment or attempt to render assistance. Neither attempted to locate a firearm, which was reported missing from the scene. Rodriguez Rivera died later at a hospital, having left multiple letters of intent. His death ruled a suicide. His mother, who lives in Puerto Rico, texted with First Alert 4 Investigates, writing, "He was quiet, very smart, and had emotional problems. Writing, nothing will change. That my son is dead, it's very painful for me."
What? Why? Why didn't they help him?
That case shocking to Elisa, too. She wonders how many other vulnerable people have suffered because she says someone with a badge turned a blind eye.
What is this idea of reckless disregard?
It's that you know what the rules are and you blow by them anyway.
Gary Berger's the St. Louis attorney, well-versed on cop cases. The state, he says, is accusing officers in both situations of failing to do what a reasonable officer would.
Leaving injured people in harm's way, both a danger to themselves and to other people, is inappropriate conduct from a police officer.
But that's just discipline. The families in both cases, he says, could possibly sue, but criminal charges, he says, are not likely.
It's often difficult to prosecute officers for what they do. Is it more difficult to hold them accountable criminally for what they don't do?
Absolutely. That's a great point, Lauren. Omission, the lack of doing something, is even harder. The law is going to give them even more defenses.
In fact, Deputy Joseph Philpott is fighting back against the discipline. His attorney now filing a response to the AG's complaint, denying the allegations and citing an Arkansas police report from 3 days before their encounter, claiming Michelle was a perpetrator of assault, not a victim, though nothing in their incident reports or on the video seems to indicate they knew that at the time. Cobb's attorney spoke to First Alert 4 Investigates, saying Cobb is prepared to vehemently defend himself. The attorney telling us he couldn't speak much on the matter, but he was confident Cobb would be vindicated. St. Louis police declined our request for an interview. A spokesperson writing, quote, "The 2 individuals are no longer employed by the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. While we are unable to comment on specific personnel matters, SLMPD holds its officers to the highest standards. Appropriate disciplinary action will be taken if an officer is found to have violated policies."
I wish they would have arrested her. She'd still be here.
Let me say this, Steve, Brian. when we're on patrol, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to a call, we don't know how to handle it exactly, but we do the best we can, right?
Right.
The last thing we want to do is get a recall, right? because
Never
then
want to
your
go back to the
boys,
same house twice.
because your squad's going to be looking at you like, what, you couldn't handle a call?
Yeah, you didn't
Right?
handle your business. You didn't handle your
Right.
business. Yeah.
Las Vegas is a very dangerous town for pedestrians.
Yep.
Because you got drunk drivers, you got drunk people, right?
Yep. Yep.
And if you're a taxi cab driver, I'm sorry, but you got some crazy cab drivers out here too.
Yes, we do.
So the first thing, 2 miles is where she wants to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not very far, right? You can prevent a recall. But let's back that up a little bit before that, right?
Right.
You have visible signs of a battery domestic violence,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Here in Vegas, you have 24 hours to make an arrest,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Do your job,
Yep.
investigate.
Yep. It's not that
Right?
hard. It's not that hard. Yeah.
So let's say it happened longer than 24 hours, nothing there. Okay. You've got resources,
Yep.
Safe Nest, we have all those other resources. They're sometimes full sometimes, and you can't take them there. Right.
Correct. Yep.
What's the next thing you got?
You got West Care. You call the families. You call
You got-
somebody.
Let's say they're all full. Then you got pedestrian and roadway.
Right. Yeah.
Could you arrest? Right.
You could. You could.
Okay.
You could also legal her. Right. She can't take care of
That's
herself.
exactly it. That's exactly
Right.
what I was
So
going
they
to
call
say.
an
She's drunk.
ambulance.
Yes.
Right. She's drunk. She's injured. She can't take care of herself. And now we as cops can put a legal 2000. That's what we call it here in Las Vegas.
Yep.
I think in LA they call it a 5150, but it's a hold saying that you can't care for yourself.
Yeah.
And now we instead
Or
of us
she might
taking-
be in harm's way.
correct, or you might want to unalive yourself. So we can do a legal 2000 that's taking you into custody, but instead of taking you to jail, you go to the hospital and you see a shrink.
How many times did you
That's
get
an
asked?
easy way.
Yeah.
Easy way to get
Out
this, or get a hold of somebody, or
Out
help
of
somebody.
patrol. How many times did you get asked for a ride?
Oh. You know how many rides I've given?
Yeah.
I've given hundreds and hundreds of rides because that's our job. I would have absolutely taken this lady. I would have said, yep, grab your stuff. Let's go. Throw her in the back. And I would have taken her down the street to the gas station. Give her like $5, $10, $20. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I've probably given away $500 to $1,000 on duty. And all of it's to usually women trying to escape bad people, bad men with their kids. I gave a lady enough money for her and her baby to get on a bus.
Yeah.
I gave her like $60 one night. She had it planned out. She was leaving her husband. He was crazy.
Yeah, she was going to go
so
meet family though, right? I remember that.
Yeah. And I had to help her get out of there. And she called me while I was on duty. She got out of the house. She didn't have any money. I gave her $60.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we do. Sometimes like that $60 to me is who cares? But to her, it meant everything. Getting out of, changing her life. Never heard from her again. I hope she's doing great, but she's never been back because I've never been back to that house ever again.
Yep.
So it's the little things that you do. But giving this lady a ride, 100%, absolutely should. That should have been the least thing they did was give her a ride at the minimum. You have enough room. You can throw her bags in the back. And then in the back seats, we can hold enough for 10 people.
If we could transport 2 people to jail, we could transport 1 person and her bags.
Yes. So that was a shame.
Yeah.
That was so sad. Yeah, they did fail her. They did fail her. They
absolutely.
They should have. I did the same thing. I have a story that's kind of like that. Real life. I'll keep it short and sweet. I get a call to a domestic. The female half is gone. Right, she's 8. She's going on arrival, but she's walking through the desert at Blue Diamond in Fort Apache, and this is like 12 years ago. So Blue Diamond and Fort Apache here in Vegas, very desert area. She had a sprained ankle, swollen ankle, and it was 115. And that day she was walking in flip flops. So she identified herself to me. She's a juvenile, right? She's 17. She says, "Sir, there was nothing physical happened, but I just need to get back home." And I said, "Where's home?" She said, "West Care." She's awarded to the state, so she lives at West Care. That's where she's registered at as a juvenile. So I said, "Okay, I need to get her back to West Care." I called my boss. He said, we're not taxis. You're not taking her to West Care." I explained she's almost the victim of a DV. It's 115. She's got a really blatant swollen ankle. She can't walk. And he wanted me to just leave her there on the side of the road and have her call a taxi. She didn't have any money. I did what I thought was the right thing. I got her to West Care, and then he tried to actually get me in trouble for it, which it failed because the people above him realized I was doing it out of my heart. And a mistake that you make with your heart is an easy one to forgive in my eyes, because I just wanted to do the right thing. I was off the road for 40 minutes, got her to West Care. What's the problem? That was the right thing to do, and I knew it was the right thing to do, and that's why whether I got in trouble or not, I knew it was the right thing to do.
The problem that you had, though, is your sergeant didn't have a heart. That's the problem.
He thought I should just leave her on the side of the road, and I disagreed.
Yeah,
and I did what I wanted to do. I knew it was the right thing to do, because guess what? If I leave her on the side of the road and she's walking away from me, 10 minutes later, and let's say she gets jacked or robbed or killed, right?
Or even dies by the elements.
Yeah, falls over and has a heat stroke. Guess who's going to get in trouble for it? Me, because I just had contact with her, and the doctors and the hospital and the courts would say, "You were just out with her. Why didn't you give her a ride, sir?"
Yep.
Well, my boss said don't. Well, I did.
Yeah. And that's just it. It's not hard to do the right thing when you don't want to do it. Does that make sense? Because sometimes you're like, "God, man, listen, Brian, we go to work. We're not always 100% like, let's go. Like, God dang, I have to deal with these calls."
Yep.
This always in your ear, you know.
You're right. You're right. It's tough. It's challenging at times. It is quite challenging. Yes.
But it's at the end of the day, when you do something like that, it's always the right thing to do.
Correct. You got to realize when you take the job as a cop, you're going to have nights where you're the shining star. You're going crazy, right? You got the pursuit, you got the vehicle pursuit, you got your bad guy, and everyone's smacking you on the back. And then guys on the squad, guys are like, man, I want to get something good. You know what I mean? I always used to get a little jealous when my buddies were all in foot pursuits all night, and I'm like, man, I'm not finding nothing. That means they're making good stops, right? People are running. Right. I want to get into some action too. You know what I mean? And you get a little jealous. But sometimes you got to say, look, it's your night. I need to go help this lady, because again, it says it right on our cars. We're here to protect and serve.
Yeah. We work for them. We work for them.
We do. We do.
What do you got, Steve?
Yeah, and she was being sane. She wasn't being wild or violent or
no.
We've got Kathy.
She was very nice. She was very nice.
We've got Kathy from Raw Bath and Beauty in the green room, but before we go to her, a couple comments I saw I wanted to throw up to you guys. One from Great Dane Mom, and this is a rough one. She says, "This is triggering for me. My nephew ended his life in my house with 30 officers standing outside my house. I heard this shot, and the army of police just packed up and left after 2 hours."
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Great Dane Mom.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah.
Well, we said this before, Brian, and it's that sad deal. It's not against the law to kill yourself.
Nope.
We don't know any information about your nephew, what his struggles were, but you almost have to be at your end of your rope when you decide to do something like that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be doing an episode in 3 weeks about officers' state of mind and when officers decide to hurt themselves and their families. We're gonna have a little special caller that's gonna assist us with that. But that's a topic that's close to me and Brian's psyche, because we've had friends and family that decided to hurt themselves, and we're not doctors or anything like that, but we live the life, we walk the walk, so we can address some of these issues. But that's a tough one. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, you're not alone, Great Dane Mom, because I was on my own brother's suicide here in Vegas, like literally in uniform on duty, and I was not happy with the way Metro was doing things. And so you're not alone. That's a story for another time, but you're not alone. It happens.
Yeah.
And I kind of had the same question too, because I was going back and forth while the video was playing. Hankey's non-existent integrity. Wants to know, were the same officers involved in both incidents on that video? The one with the woman and the one with the guy?
No, two different agencies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it'd be in a lot of trouble if it was.
Wow.
I can't believe they found a guy still breathing behind a tree, and they just left. Like, I can't. That blows my mind. Like, why didn't you get this guy, call ambulance, or carry him? Shit, you could throw him on your back and run him across the street to the hospital. What were they thinking?
You roll medical. That's all you need.
Again,
you're like this. Done.
I don't know how long these cops have been on, but because nobody wants to really be a cop nowadays in America, they're hiring. I'm sorry to say it, but sometimes they're hiring bottom of the barrel people, man, and they're taking a chance on people. Even in Vegas now, I hear that we're so hurting for cops here. They're hiring you on a provisional. You hire because we had a guy who he's like almost all the way through the academy, and they had to fire him because he had tickets or something. Like, are you serious? So now you're hiring provisional people. Like, you might make it, you might not. So when you hire people that don't care about the job, like the way we did, and we're taught properly, this is the kind of police work you're going to get. You're going to get, hey man, we're on our way to lunch. I don't care about this guy who tried to unalive himself behind the tree. We got to go eat. Just leave him here. Some kid probably walked by, picked up the gun, walked away with it. Yeah, so you get cops that don't even care. They don't want to help people.
The thing is, if they didn't find the gun there, who's to say it was a suicide? So what if he has notes?
Right? Maybe he was a murderer.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a guy against a tree who, he left suicide note, but what if somebody grabbed the gun and shot? Who knows? Like, this is real life. Crazy stuff happens. How about you just do your job? That's the best you can do. Do your job properly, and nobody can ever fault you. And then the evidence will lead you to where you need to be. You know?
Yep.
There's lots of talk.
Sorry. There's lots of talk about qualified immunity in the chat, and there's a comment from Melissa B. I want to bring up, but before I get to that, Kathy's been waiting in the green room for a while. Kathy, you're on mute. Kath, you okay, G?
Yeah.
Kathy at Raw Bath and Beauty. She's got some great products. She sent us a gift pack. I just put her link in the chat, rawbathandbeauty.com. And it looks like she's ready, so I'm gonna bring her on up.
Hello.
Hello, Kathy.
I see you.
I came in a little late, so I'm not. I've seen the video prior of the female. I haven't seen the male that you guys are talking about, but I'm just shocked that they did nothing. But also, as far as the school shooting, what do you guys think the answer is besides the parents being more accountable? I know where I went to middle school before, about probably 5 or 6 years after I went there, they put in metal detectors. And I think it's one of the very few schools around in this area that has a metal detector. So all the students and the visitors all have to go through it. But even then, I don't know if that's going to really be the answer.
Well,
to me,
you have. Go ahead, B.
Well, I was just thinking. To me, like a metal detector is not going to stop me, because if I want to come in and start unaliving people, I'm going to come in while everyone's in class anyway. So even if the metal detector goes off, no one's going to really be there to see it. If there is somebody standing there, well, they're going to take them out first, right?
That's true.
Honestly, as we're all humans, and when you have the human element, I think it's 100% impossible to stop all of it. You can have security officers or safety officers, police officers, whatever you want to call them, at every school. At every school in America. It'd be a great job for retired cops. They hang out around the school all day and wait. But the problem is, if there's an intention for a bad person to do something, they're going to find a way to do it. Nothing's going to stop them. Now, we can make it harder for them. We can make it more difficult for them. Like, we have the craziest gun laws in all of the world, right? Some of the inner cities have the hardest, strictest gun laws in America, and yet the people still get guns because people don't care about the laws. They get guns illegally. You can make the almost guns impossible to get. People will still get them because they're getting them illegally. When you want to do something illegally, you're not following any rules or any laws. So I don't care if there's a metal detector there. I don't even care if there's cops there. If you want to do something and you have the tenacity and the balls to do it, you're going to try it, right?
Yeah.
So there is no fix. There is no fix all. You can't just wave a magic wand and say, all right, this is what will fix it. There won't, because kids will figure out a way to get around it. Just like in jails. G and I were talking earlier in jails. There's no weapons in jails. What do? They make shanks and they make all kinds of crazy stuff with other stuff, and they can still hurt people, and still unalive people in jail.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I mean, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yep. And that's what I was going to caveat on, is that you can make it harder for them, but you're not going to prevent it.
Right.
It comes down to respecting firearms, respecting human life, respecting your elders, respecting your parents, respecting yourself, loving God, being a good person. That you if you don't have any of that, well, we can't stop you. I can't change you. I can't do that. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
And some people, I hate to say this, and I'm not saying this about Samantha by any means. Some people are just evil. And even teenagers and kids can be evil. Sometimes you're just dealing with stuff that they're just evil. They just don't want to live, or they don't like people and they want to take some people out.
Yeah.
It sucks, but this is the real world, and it's a dangerous world.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, I mean, you're at school and you know, now all of a sudden you're not here anymore, and but there's no promise for tomorrow.
Well, it's more, I think it's more impactful for the other kids that see it. The one that's not here anymore, his family's got to deal with that. But
correct. Yeah.
It's just those kids are never going to be the same.
Correct.
They're just never going to be the same.
Yeah. And I even heard one teacher saying he was gathering all the kids and putting them into the corner of a room and just hiding, like just sitting in the corner of the room. And I'm like, that's just going to make it easier for somebody to do more damage to people. If you know the shooters on the inside of the school walking from room to room, man, get the kids out the window and have them run across the field and run through that tree line, run to it and don't stop and get every kid out the window. Why would you want them corner? And now it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem too smart either, you know. But again, it's just people are people, and with the human element, or you're going to have error too. So even though we could train them what to do, when it really happens, that training could go right out the window, and you could freak out and shut down. And
yeah, because if especially like teachers, they didn't sign up for that. They didn't sign up to take guns away from people. They didn't.
No, correct.
So you can't
they just
really
want to teach.
fault anyone for saying hide in the corner, really.
Correct. No, and I'm not. And that comes down from what do we learn from all of these school shootings or active shooters? We put all the statistics together and try to figure out, all right, what have we learned? What are their patterns? Where do they go mostly? Or is it mostly suicides at the end? So we learn, and then we try to educate.
Is there really a pattern though? I thought most of the time it was like a vendetta against like bullies, or I don't know if.
Well, that's the pattern.
I don't know if this kid really did she have a target? I haven't heard anything.
Well, that would be the pattern. If she's being bullied, or any kid that goes in and does a school shooting, the pattern is they've been bullied.
Yep.
They don't like somebody, or the boyfriend and girlfriend broke up, or whoever the case may be. But there's always a pattern to the madness.
Yeah.
You just have to be able to find it. Now, I will say this, it starts at home with gun safety, right? Lock up the guns. Don't make them available for anybody to get to, right? And only one person might have the code. Maybe mom and dad have the code, and that's it. So that's where it really starts, and then it escalates from there. But like Brian said, if you have the will, there's a way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How's your store doing, by the way?
It's doing okay. I got a few orders from the last live we did.
Nice.
But
nice.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know anyone in Wisconsin. There was like Massachusetts and Wisconsin. I'm like, oh, okay.
Cool.
It was cool.
Yeah. You got great stuff. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Is she gonna play our game?
Hey, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
What game are we playing? I didn't hear.
Okay.
I came in really late.
Well, since you're our first caller,
you're
right.
We're gonna do this skit. Okay.
Oh Lord.
And we're gonna have you watch this video.
All right.
And we're gonna pause it, and you tell us what you would do. And for participating,
Oh,
okay, you also get a shirt from us.
sweet.
So you'll just have to go to our store, find out what one you like, and then send that to Steve, and then we'll get it shipped out to you.
All right.
So now
Geez.
listen.
Just share with
Hang on.
Oh. Twitter. I'm
the
seeing double.
twins.
I know Nurse Kim is doing a pet stream. I'm not sure exactly when that's going to be.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
But before we do this, G, real quick, I wanted to pop a couple more comments up, and I'm gonna skip the qualified immunity for now because that might be a long one. This one's unrelated, but I thought it sounded funny. Have you guys ever investigated the sister wives? And that's from good U.S. citizen, good citizen with a flag in between, I think. You guys ever had any sister wives calls when they were in Vegas?
No.
No?
Nope.
You know what I'm talking about? The TV show with the...
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Although there was a show that had little people, little women, and we were at Cabo of Mexico, and they were all shit-faced drunk, yelling and fighting with each other, so they had to have this hotel security break these little people up. Man, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So
We're
they
like
were your
10 million
people.
devils. Yeah, they're my size people. Thank you, Steve.
They made you feel big.
I was seeing eye to eye.
We call that fun size. Fun size.
Fun size, exactly. They were fun size. So
Aqua E wants to know, has stated, all of our Vegas schools do have a cop posted outside, I believe. I know we have
school police.
School police.
Yeah,
So
Vegas
but they I see the cars all the time, but they're actually posted at each school, or
I think our schools here share one officer between several schools.
Yeah, that's not enough for sure. That's not enough.
You're not going to be able to respond really appropriately, but I understand.
No. Yeah.
Well, listen. The thing is kids are smart too. They'll watch and see when the opportunity is, just like a criminal will. They'll learn the patterns and they'll just hit when they're not there.
Yep, he'll watch them and say, "All right, every day at 1:30 he leaves and he doesn't come back till 4."
Well, yeah, it's just like kids at home know, when they can get away with things, It's the same, it's the same mentality.
That's why you got to break up your routine and change it up.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got Lacey Jane in the chat, who, if you guys caught the beginning of the show, January 4th. I screwed up the date last time I talked about it on a different show. January 4th at noon Pacific time, we're doing a co-broadcast. It'll be on our tube and on her X Spaces. We'll have more details later, and also at the beginning of the show, I talked about it. So she's here, so cool. And also, we're being rated by Glarers.
Whoa.
So welcome everybody from Glarers show.
Yep, thank you,
He's cool, dude. We gotta get on his show pretty soon.
Well,
he was talking something about on his chat, man. He was hot. He was hot about something. I didn't want to.
He's always
jump in.
Yeah, he's always upset.
He's on fire. Okay. Before we do the,
does she need a partner, G, or is she going to be solo officer?
You know what? We can do a partner. Do we have anybody else in the line, or do you want to do it, B?
Oh, right now there's nobody else. So make the announcement again so people understand what's going on. We can get some more people to join us.
Okay, so this next part of our live is going to be a skit where we're going to present you with a video. You're going to watch it, and we're going to pause it at a certain space where it says pause, and then we'll pop in and we'll talk about how you would handle that call. Does that make sense?
Basically, what would you do? You're going to have about a second or two to decide. So we're putting you as a cop. And you're going to have to decide relatively quickly, what should you do? So now it kind of puts you, gives you that sense of like urgency, like, this is what they feel every day. So it's just kind of to put you on the spot and say, all right, obviously you're not trained, you're not an officer, but that's okay. We just want to put you guys on the spot. So give you our perspective of how things happen very quickly. And sometimes you need to decide very quickly.
I might just have to shoot everyone.
Well, that's what you do. That's what you do, right?
Guess what? If you have to, you have to.
Yep.
All right.
There are consequences if you do.
That's right.
Responsible for every bullet.
Yeah. And I want to say this again: if you participate in our little skits, we will send you a shirt.
Oh, sweet.
Send you a free shirt of your choice.
The glare has joined us too, and he's making a ruckus. No, he says he's over whatever the anger was that you were talking about, G.
That's funny. That a boy. That a boy.
Welcome, Will. Welcome everybody from Will's show. And G, the first one is the domestic disturbance, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So if everybody's ready, I'll pop off and play the video.
Yep.
Take us all off. Just have her watch it.
Okay. And there's a pause point, right?
Yes, there's this pause.
Okay. Oh, you want me to leave her on, take you guys off?
Yep.
Okay.
So she can watch the whole thing.
You're going to be the star of the show here.
Yep.
Are you involved in this?
That's my wife.
Okay.
I just dropped her off to go get some gas, and I guess they beat her up.
Okay.
Is that person involved?
This is my husband.
No, is that person involved?
No, not that person. No.
Okay. Okay. What's going on?
I called my son and asked him if it's okay for me to come up here to see my granddaughter.
Did you do something illegal?
No.
Okay. So can we come and talk about what's going on?
I accept your terms. What's up? Yeah.
Hi there. What's your name? Can you come out here, please? Please. I got her in the closet. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Okay. Can we put the baby down, come out here and talk and figure out what's going on? You gonna give her to the baby? Okay.
Go. Whoa!
All right. All right. All right.
All right.
You're in the hot seat.
All right. Well, that's grand. Probably, I probably wouldn't have sat her in the same room, first of all. I would have probably had her go in the other room. And
Good. She's not listening to you, though.
Yeah, no. Well, but she did come out and sit down.
What would you do with the knife now?
Come on, she's coming at you with the knife. We're already at 15 seconds. What do you got?
Well, I guess I know you guys don't like tasers, but I guess maybe I'd have to try that first. Because I'm not gonna jump in front of her and get the knife out of her hand. I'm not.
So let me say this.
I guess I'd have to shoot her.
What's your gut? What's your gut telling you? What's your gut telling you?
My gut's telling me that that knife needs to be out of her hand.
And how are you going to do that? What's the fastest thing you could do?
Kick her arm?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, she's 5 feet away from you, unless you're Jet Li or Bruce Lee. Come on now, you know what? Come on, you've already said it. What's your
I guess
gut
I'll
instinct?
have to just shoot her.
You have to, yeah. Unfortunately, and that's what the officer did.
And let me say this, B. What's the rule?
Unless I had like the beanbag rounds.
Right, but you don't. We don't carry those with us. Right? We have them in our cars, but we don't. Unless they were just going up to knock on the door and do some talking, right? To investigate. They're not bringing your lethality is on your hip, right? It's called the taser, right? But Gonzo, what's the rule?
21 feet.
Yep. And not only that, but if they have a lethal weapon on them,
You have to one up it. You have
yeah,
to
you
one
got to
up
one
it.
up it. Now, there was 2 officers, so one guy could have maybe tased, but is it worth risking? You got to get the taser out of the holster, turn it on, get your aim, and remember the cartridge is spread, so you're going to have to pick a spot on their body that both laser points are hitting, pull the trigger, and be effective before she can actually just go like this. Too much.
What
Too much.
was she suicidal or was she trying to stab the guy? I
She never
couldn't tell.
She never said a word. She was coming at the cop.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dude, she does have a history of mental illness.
okay. But yeah, she was coming at the cop.
okay. Yeah, then they have to shoot her, I guess.
But this you did say a couple of things right though. Right? You said don't put them in the same room, right?
Well, I mean,
Brian and I
if there's if they're both saying that they're having troubles and you're going to sit her on the same bed, like 3 feet away, it's just going to either rile him up or they might start fighting again.
Correct.
I wouldn't have guessed that she would have had the knife under the baby, but.
Well, this is the deal on the call, on the radio call, said that the mother got beat up by her. Right?
Oh.
So it wasn't a domestic between the husband and wife. It was between
okay.
her and the mother.
All right.
She wanted to come over and see the baby.
Right.
So now the first thing that Brian always do when we go to a domestic house, we don't take people to the known area or unknown area. So if we have to kind of push them toward the kitchen, hey, let's go to the kitchen, and we will physically push them with our bodies to the kitchen, sit them down in a chair where we know that we see what's around. That's not going to be a weapon, right? That's the first thing that we would do. Now, listen, every cop is different, okay? And both Brian and I know that if you get in a situation with a knife, you're going to get cut, especially if you go hands-on. What I would have honestly probably tackled this girl on the bed. I would have. Right? But that's me. Not every officer will do that. Probably would do the exact same thing. But this officer ended up shooting both the mother and the child, and they both passed. But that's a call you have to make. You have to make it, right? And you have to be okay with it. If you can articulate it as to why you did it, you'll be fine, right? But now it's out in the public. Now you have to fight off the public's opinion of you, right? And if you can justify it to them as well, maybe they will listen to you, maybe they won't. But that's a no-win situation for that officer, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
And those are decisions that officers make every day. Some are good, some are bad.
Yeah, Kathy, imagine you just that happened to you, right? To say this was you're a cop, this happened to you 2 weeks ago. Now when you're out walking about, everyone's calling you a baby killer. You had a second to decide how you wanted to protect your life, and now they start throwing stuff at you, calling you a baby killer or a mom killer.
And the reason why I did this video,
so not only does the cop have to live with everything he went through, but now he's got to live with the fact that he took a mom and a baby's life.
Yeah.
So, it's easy to sling mud at the cops, but again, that's also why we're doing this scenario for you, is to realize cops have a second to decide, and it could change 100 people's lives forever.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. So that's why sometimes you gotta show a little grace,
Yeah.
The reason why I did this video is because both Brian and our shooting was almost like this. And we had literally a second to react. And thank God Brian was quick on the draw. So, so what'd you think of that?
Well, it was kind of intense, but now I'm going to have to take you guys to the ER and put you through my scenarios.
I can plug a hole with my finger for sure. Well, thank you for participating.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Make sure you tell Steve what kind of shirt you want.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
And we're probably a little too late for Christmas, but robathanbeauty.com. Kathy's got some great products if you want to support small business and get some great products. Go to Rob Bath and Beauty and check it out.
I know my
This is
wife
not
got some body wash.
this is not sponsored.
Yeah.
No.
It's just good stuff.
Someday
right.
when I make it big, I'll sponsor you guys.
Hey,
Right
for
on.
you.
Americans
Good for
doing
you.
what they got to do.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
All right.
Stay
Merry
safe. Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Thanks,
All
Kathy.
right. Thank you
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Bye.
Bye. We've got Lacey in the green room. Before I bring her on, we've got a super chat from Julie, Canadian, about $3. Thank you, Julie. She says, as a nurse, I would have tried talking first. And we didn't see the whole clip. The clip
That
was
was it.
edited, right?
That was it.
Yeah, she
Oh,
didn't
there was-
talk.
That was it.
She refused. She never said one word. The lady holding the baby never said one word. Sometimes that happens.
them-
You get people, it's weird. They will
Yeah,
not talk to you.
They got that 1,000 yard stare.
Yeah, I've dealt with that a bunch of times. Some people, you're just like, okay, you don't want to talk to me, and they won't even acknowledge your existence.
If you watch that video, when she sits down, she looks at the cop that's standing up to her right, and then makes her move.
Yeah,
it's eerie, dude. It's eerie.
So hopefully the cop. Well, we already know the outcome. I would have wished that cop on the right noticed her body language, and like when I'm going to sit somebody down, I always look around that area,
Yeah.
make sure there's not a weapon just sitting there, just to make sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if they hide one on you, hey, they can hide it. It's their house. But
Hey.
at least in plain view, you can see.
If you don't have a firearm for home protection, what do you have next to your bed?
Something.
A knife.
A
knife.
bat. Yeah, knife, bat,
Right?
something. Yeah.
So I want to say that knife was in plain view, because as soon as she reached for it or made that action, the officer goes, "Hey, whoa!" And then she
Yeah.
grabbed it and he backed up. So I think that was in plain view.
I wish the guy from the right would have just rushed her. He could have taken 2 or 3 big steps. Boom, grab that arm, hold that arm against, and then if she's got to drop the baby, baby will be all right. Better than getting shot.
Well, they're made out of rubber anyway.
Yeah, but hindsight's 20/20, right? I mean,
yeah. But Joey,
when I'm not faulting the guy for shooting him or shooting her by any means. I mean, you do what you got to do. It just sucks that she's holding the baby, but again, things happen quick.
Joey and I had a call where domestic, and the girl jumped up, had a pocket knife, grabbed it. I mean, a little dagger type knife. She grabbed it and went for the guy. Joey grabbed her by the back of the neck, tossed her like a rag doll, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
But you can't be afraid of a knife, dude. You can't.
Yeah, you can't. You're going to get cut, but the choice is yours. As an officer, you need to decide and live with the choice that you've made.
And the luck of a police officer, if you tase somebody with a knife, your luck is they're going to fall on it and stab themselves. It never comes out good.
Yeah.
No? So.
Yeah, taser with a knife I wouldn't do that. No.
21 feet rule, right? Is that that's the range, right?
Yeah, 21 foot. Yeah, I mean that's the number the Force and Science Research Center came up with in 1984. Yeah.
And that's being able to pull your gun from your holster and putting 2 rounds somewhat on target.
No. It's 21 foot rule was created by the Force and Science Research Center in Utah in 1984, saying that by the time an officer sees the threat, draws a holstered weapon, and fires 1 round unsighted, so I don't even bring it up to my eyes, I'm just from holster, boom, almost like a quick draw. By the time the officer can do that, the suspect has traveled an average distance of 21 feet. Yeah. Meaning if he's running at you full speed, he is going to get to you before you probably pull that trigger. So
and they tell you you're going to get cut.
And you're going to get cut and or stabbed, but you just make sure you'll be okay.
Yep.
You do what you got to do to survive, and you'll be all right. Get to the hospital.
Yep. Steve, what do you got?
We got a comment from Life Artist here in Vegas. They say I was attacked recently by a random man here in Vegas. He never said a word. The cops were like, "Why do you think he did this?" I don't know. So
it happens. Yeah.
More situational awareness. I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes you can't even see it coming because it's so random.
Well, that's why I always tell people, like, Gonzo and I still work here in Vegas, and what do I see when I'm around Mandalay Bay? Right, I'm at Mandalay Bay walking around.
Head down.
I normally 98% of the people in that casino are walking like this. They got their phone in their hand and they're not even looking. I've been literally walked into a couple times, and Nobody wants to pay attention or what's around them. I tell people, when you're outside and you're walking around, put your phone in your pocket. Pay attention to what's around you.
Yeah. You're going to be a
That's what I
victim
do.
because there's people watching you to make you a victim.
They
That's
are
for damn
watching.
sure.
They are watching you. People with those brand new iPads, the big iPads, somebody come right up behind you, grab it, run. I love it when they call the police. And I'm like, hey, so who stole your stuff? I don't know. Did you see him? No, not really. What was he wearing? I don't remember. What color was he? I have no idea. Was it a white guy or a man or a woman? I have no idea. All right, I'm going to look for Casper the Friendly Ghost. You have a nice day, ma'am. Oh, you're not going to take a report? No. Why not? Because I'm not going to look for, there's 2.5 million people here in Vegas. You have no idea what the person even looks like at all. I'm not wasting my time. You're an idiot. Pay attention to what's around you.
All you can do is give them a red card with the event number. That's it.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes life sucks. Get over it.
Yep.
Pay attention.
All right, we got Life Artist just added. He ran up to me at 10:30 a.m. I saw him, but I didn't think he was going to do anything. We've got Lacey that's been in the chat for a while.
Let's get her on here.
Bring her on, see what's going on, and how many more scenarios do we have, G?
2 more. Does she want to participate?
So, well, let's bring her on and find out. She's shaking her head. Yeah. So, welcome.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Can you go off screen and see what it looks like, what the video is, the next one, and tell me what it is so I can set it up?
Yeah.
What's up, Lacey?
Okay.
What's up? Hey guys, how's it going?
Sorry, they were ignoring you.
My face was like really, really close.
That's all right.
Let me move this back a little bit.
Yeah.
You're good.
I can see your pores.
I mean, I'm like happy Festivus for the
Yes.
rest of us.
Yes.
Airing of grievances.
Yeah.
This is a holiday in my book, so I'm
Very
really
good. Very
excited
good.
to be here. Thanks for pulling up this scenario with me. I'm very pro Back the Blue, which is why I'm so excited to be your first in studio guest in Vegas.
Oh, I know, right? That's gonna be awesome.
Oh, you're here in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm coming to Vegas, and we're doing it in the studio. So
Yep.
I'm really
Yep.
excited.
Nice.
I saw you mention us on the glare. I appreciate that. So
that's right. That's right. That's right.
We're excited to get on with somebody who likes the badge for sure.
Loves the badge.
So what exactly do you cover on your channel per se? Just a gamut of things or what?
A gamut of things, but I've been focusing on Karen Reed because that's where I've gained a lot of traction. I actually started with the Idaho 4. That is where when I started doing spaces, and that was like right when spaces were created, like a long time ago. And it was a very eye-opening experience to see how things were handled.
Yeah.
And all the opinions going around in the Twitter world. So I have some personal connections within the true crime community, and I just decided, one day I was like, no one's doing what I want to do. I believe in ethical true crime consumption, like thinking about it from a how to prevent it from moving on or moving forward, which one of the things that you just covered is like not having your face in your stupid your phone in your stupid face all day long. Like have that situational awareness, especially in big cities. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it in the suburbs, but like my husband and I, like we will sit at a corner and know where the exits are. We'll be looking around and seeing like if anything jumps out at us. So I wish more people were like that, but I understand we have a trusting nature overall.
Yeah, that's true. It's not if you become a victim, it's when you become a victim.
Yep.
It's going to happen inevitably to you. Whether if it's just that your car being broken into, guess what? You're a victim.
Yeah.
Right. Being a victim doesn't mean getting assaulted or robbed or whatever the case may be. It's the gamut, right? It's the whole spectrum of what that can happen to you that becomes a victim. And even when you're walking in down the street and you see somebody, you can make eye contact. It's not going to hurt you, right?
Yep.
It shows if they look away, then that shows something, that they're not very confident. But at least you make eye contact. So for us, we wanted to do a channel to kind of cross that bridge between law enforcement and the civilian world. And that's why Brian and I are starting to, collaborate and do these little scenarios to kind of make you realize, you know what? It's not that easy to be a cop, right?
Oh my God, no.
Especially
and people that think that it is easy, come on, guys. Come on.
So everybody has that office drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't like Betty, or I don't like Jim, or whatever the case may be. Amplify that by every person that you see, right? It's drama from the victims, it's drama from the suspects, it's drama from the community that we always have to fight off. And it's an uphill battle, and you have to have a strong mental fortitude to deal with the aspect of the job, the shit that you see, and then how you get talked to by people you're trying to help, right?
100%.
Nobody wants to go to jail, but they make us take them to jail.
Oh, absolutely. Oh
Right?
my God. People just need to shut up and be respectful and just, yep.
So let me find out what this video is here that we're going to be doing next, because I can't remember it.
I'm excited. This is my jam.
We'll see how you do. We'll see how you do.
All right, let's go.
What do you got, Steve? Which one is it?
I put up on the screen Lacey's X, which is where we're going to be on the 4th. We'll be on her X space and also on our YouTube. If I can get it all technologically worked out. The next video, and we've also got Jeremy, which we've had JC Music Man. He's also in the green room for a little later. If you can hang out, Jeremy. It's the highway, the guy on the side of the highway.
Yep. Perfect.
Do you want to set it up at all?
So let me set this up for you. You're in your black and white, and you see a vehicle pulled over on the freeway with its hazards on.
Yep.
Okay. Now that's causing a possible obstruction for the road. So you're going to stop and find out what's going on, right?
Yep.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Roll it, Steve-O.
This is the end of the previous video.
Film 197. Two 1076 Avenue. Film 197 southbound on the 50 bridge. How you doing? You know her? You here to help her? Are you here to help her?
Nah, she taking me to the hospital.
Come here.
Hands.
Hospital.
Oh.
Okay. So what do you think?
Hands.
Okay. What did you see? What did you see? What did you see?
I saw that he had his hand in his jacket, which whenever a cop is of all going to a traffic stop or any sort of situation, your eyes, not only are you looking all around, but you are specifically making sure that you can see their hands.
Right.
Hands are what kill. Guns don't. Those hands.
You're right. You're right. The reason why I picked this video is because you have the dynamics of the traffic.
Yeah.
Whizzing back and forth.
Right.
You have an unknown vehicle. Then you have a pedestrian walking up on you.
Yep.
Right. That's a lot to process. A lot to process. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it was a bridge. I thought someone was jumping like at one point. And so my mind went to that. And yeah.
We don't have the 3D visual. We just got the 2D, right? Of the officer and the dash cam. So we have to process things a little bit different. But I'm going to go ahead and finish rolling the tape.
Okay.
And tell me what you would do. Okay. Steve, go ahead.
Come here. You got a gun.
What I do? What I do?
You got a gun.
I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun. No! What did you do?
210. 210. Send me another unit.
What did you do? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Why would you do that? He just was getting his ass.
Are you here to help her?
Nah, she taking me in the hospital.
Come here. You got a gun.
Lacey? You there, Lacey? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Listen, when you go to prison, you can send me a collect call, okay?
Well, she just said hands. She didn't say she was going to shoot him.
Hands.
Right?
Hands.
Right? But did you see how he turned aggressively toward the officer?
I mean, it happened so quickly.
Right. Right.
Bingo.
Like
Yeah. But guess what? He never had a gun.
Oh my God.
He never had a gun. He was walking by and he might have been, I mean, he said he was going to the hospital, right?
Right.
So he might have had stomach pain.
Hurt.
He might have had appendix pain, gallbladder, intestinal, who knows? But so just because he's reaching in his jacket, should you notice it? 100%. Should you be ready for what might come out of that? 100%. But again, like I've always said as an officer, you have to wait that extra second or two before you start pulling trigger because he didn't do anything. He didn't have a gun.
Let me say this. Anytime that I was doing a traffic stop on the freeway or on a busy road, right, and a pedestrian would come to me, I always watch to see if they jaywalked, right, or a pedestrian roadway, because now you have, hey, get in front of my car. Let me talk to you for a second. You can take that minute, pat him down where you're still watching the van real quick to see, okay, so what's going on here? What are you doing? Who's she to you? Okay, I got you, right? Always have a crime, or if not, just say, hey, let me talk to you, man. What's going on? He didn't do that. He just let him go right up to the vehicle without doing any safety assertion of who the guy was. Right.
And you could have at least asked as the guy's walking by, hold on. Let me talk to you for a second. If he says no and he's walking by, but you do have a crime. I mean, they're sitting in the middle of traffic, right, with their hazards on. So you're impeding traffic. They could get hit by a drunk driver, get rear-ended by somebody not paying attention, someone on their phone. But
I was a nervous wreck over the placement of the trooper car and him standing right in front of his car. And I thought that's where it was going for a second as well. Like,
police work is crazy. You sometimes threats come out of nowhere, and that's what really gets you.
So
you gotta pay attention.
What happened? What was the outcome of that?
Administrative leave right now. He didn't get hit at all. He missed. The officer missed didn't get shot, and the officer just put administrative leave.
Yeah, thank God.
I'm sorry. My eyes were.
He fucked up.
He messed up. That call right there might make him never be a cop again.
Yeah. Mentally.
I would not be surprised if he said, you know what? This job's not for me. because I almost took a guy's life when I didn't even need to. This job's not for me. I would honestly, I almost expect that from this guy to either quit or he's gonna have to go through some serious retraining because he's like a nervous Gert. You know, you're too scared. You can't be too scared as a cop. You gotta know. That's why you gotta train and you gotta know everything that you're capable of. And if you're out on the streets and you're like, I can't handle what comes at me, you probably shouldn't be out on the streets.
Yeah.
I almost feel like he went into that situation. Maybe he had a bad call beforehand. None of this matters in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't. But like he was already on super high alert, and the jaywalking, the car. So like what you were saying, there were a lot of things going on at once. And
there could have been a lot. Let's say he was on a call before this and he was all amped up. But again, that is conducive for police work and real life, because Gonzo and I have gone from calls where you're kicking somebody's ass and the next minute, you know, you're holding a dead baby. But see, again, that comes with the territory of being a cop, and you can't teach this. You cannot teach it. You have to learn it, and you're going to learn every minute being in that patrol car, going to these houses and going to calls like this one. You're going to learn it, and you can't rush it. And that's what sucks, is you have to learn it, and you hope you learn it with the fewest mistakes.
Yeah, and come out alive.
Because G and I have made mistakes too, learning. It sucks, but guess what?
Yeah.
You just fall on the sword and you keep going.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, it's scary. Being a cop is scary. When I watch these videos, my hands get sweaty.
Yeah,
you know, because I feel for the cop, and even if some of them I've already seen, my hands still get sweaty from day one. Our very first video Gonzo and I ever did, my hands were getting sweaty watching these cops, because I know it's usually not a good thing, and we've been in most of these situations, and it's sometimes it sucks. It's horrifying and it sucks.
Yeah,
but that's just part of life. It's part of being a cop.
And you're told that, like, you know, that's the thing, and this isn't a surprise. So
correct. Yeah, Metro does. We tell you straight up. We've had people leave day 1, day 2 of the academy. They're like, I can't do this. I had a guy who quit the first time he saw a dead body. He was like, I can't do this. I had a guy who got shot at. He quit. We had a guy who shot somebody. He quit. And then I had a buddy, a friend of both of G and I's. He got into an OIS. He had to take a man's life, and he ended up just taking his own life.
I'm so
if you have a brain, you can't do this job. Me and Brian don't have a brain, so that's what we can.
Correct.
That's not true, but
stupid. But we got out alive.
Yep.
We got out. I always say you got to get out sane and get out alive. And G and I are alive. I'm not sane, but I'm alive.
And take care of yourselves after you leave policing.
Yeah.
Right.
To keep your mind right, your body right. Do things like
hard.
this.
That's just as hard as being in. Yeah, that's just as hard as being in. It almost feels harder when you're out. And then processing everything that you've gone through, it seems to sometimes hit harder. Sometimes that's at least for me, that's what I've noticed since retirement. I feel for a lot of the calls that I went to more than I did even when I went through them. Like, and
I still get those head snaps, like, holy crap, you know, something will flash in the old head a little bit once in a while, and I kind of shake it out. But
I'm not a policeman, and I've had those, and they come at the most inconvenient times. Yep,
for sure. So, but
I really appreciate you guys letting me do this. Thank you so much. Thank you, Steve.
Did you have fun?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Feel bad for the guy that got shot. Feel bad the officer had to learn that he's probably gonna be entering a new job field.
He could be.
Real
and let me say this too. His bullet penetrated a van down the street. So
oh my God.
That could have been a double whammy for him, you know, if he would have actually injured somebody in that van as well.
Yeah. Remember, you're responsible for every bullet that comes out.
And I think one thing to mention before I jump off, Steve, is like people don't realize when you go outside and you shoot your stupid friggin' guns.
It's got to come down somewhere.
It comes down somewhere, and there could be a 6-year-old outside. Don't be an idiot.
Yep.
I'm off my soapbox.
Thank you for showing up and participating. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lacey.
Thanks,
And we'll see you
guys.
in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks from today.
Oh, I love it
Nice.
when it does that.
That was weird.
God dang it, Steve.
Oh, is it
How'd
an
you get that?
iPhone? It's an iPhone.
Yeah.
That's
No.
an iPad, yeah.
All right,
All right.
guys.
Bye, Lacey. We'll be in touch.
See you,
All right.
Lacey. See you in
Yes,
2 weeks.
soon. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That was a tough one, bro.
That is a tough one, man. But
Yeah,
you know,
these are all tough ones.
not everything's going to be a real shoot, right? We got to surprise them. Because sometimes in the cop world, like I said, you're going to pull that trigger maybe once, twice in your career. Okay, your mouth and your eyes and your brain are going to get you through your career, not your gun.
Yep. Make sure Lacey and the other guests get a hold of us for a shirt.
All right, we got one more scenario, right?
Write that down. Yep, we've got Jeremy in the green room, but before we bring him on, we've got a super chat from Vanessa R, £5. She says, serious question. Yes, thank you. Serious question. Do you think some cops should not have guns? In fact, should they not even be cops?
That's it.
Yeah. Need to have a gun as a cop.
There is cops that shouldn't be cops, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would say the cops that you can't not have a gun because you have to be able to protect yourself in a dangerous situation. So you have to be armed. But the question is should you arm you got to arm the right people, and that's the hard part.
Yep, I agree 100%.
You got to arm the right people.
All right, we're gonna bring Jeremy on. I think this is his third time joining us, so
nice every time.
You
there he is. Yeah,
LVCopsTV viewer extraordinaire.
So,
Jeremy,
what's
up?
Guns? That's wasn't that horse duty? Horse duty or whatever.
Well, even they have guns.
Sure.
Even though the horse patrol's got guns. Yeah, they wear their gun belt.
Yeah.
Meter maid.
Meter maids, they're
That's
not
a good
armed.
one.
No. They're not armed. No.
That's funny.
Though in Philly they should be armed, but then they would probably shoot a bunch of people, so it wouldn't be good either.
How you been, brother? You been good?
Yeah. You guys?
Yeah, we're fine, dude.
Other than being everybody's sick.
Yeah. My close friend of mine is a San Francisco police officer, and I've asked him, because it has definitely changed him, and he's just hyper vigilant all the time. And but I've asked him about his gun. He's like, the paperwork, like, yes, I draw my gun all the time. Don't fire it because I mean, it's such. I mean, obviously he would if he had to, but it's such. It's the last thing you want to do, right?
Correct.
Police officers have so many policies and procedures that if they were to think about everyone before they did something that was, life-threatening to the other person, they'd be getting hurt. You have to not worry about that stuff and just react and respond to what's happening to you. You can't be thinking about, oh my God, am I going to go to prison for this? By that time, you'll be dead.
Can't even worry about if you're going to die or not. You just got to act.
Yep. Just like that last video, you have to act. Yep. Was it the right choice? Who's to say? Threat perception is different for every person.
Yeah,
there was
go ahead.
I was back when I mean this has been 5 or 6 years when I was doing the run with the recruiters, the police. One of the guys just cracked me up, but he's we're on a jog and there's a crosswalk, so we have to cross a busy street, and he's like, someone said, "Oh, but we've got the crosswalk." He's like, "Yeah, but I'd rather be wrong and alive than right and dead."
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Man. Oh well.
Yeah, you'll pull your gun a million times, but you might not ever even have to use it. But again, the reason you pull it is because at that time you need it out. That
got those little hairs.
simply,
Got those little hairs back there.
yeah, and simply pulling it out could be just de-escalation. The person might be like, "Oh man, this cop's serious," or whatever. I mean, it could be there's 1,000 scenarios, but yeah, like I've said, your brain and your mouth are going to get you. That's what being a cop is about. It's not about your gun.
Yeah. Verbal judo is your best friend.
Yep. Yep. All right, Jeremy, you ready to play?
Sure.
All right, Jeremy, let me tell you the scenario here. You get dispatched to a little fender bender. Okay. You're going to respond and talk to the person who is at fault. All right. You ready?
Am I alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Always alone, son.
You're
alone right now. You're alone right now. What are you talking about?
It's okay to be alone. You'll be all right.
All right,
Confident.
Steve.
The way that your vehicle was located.
Uh-oh. Am I still there? Oh, okay.
It's not playing, so let me pull it off and start it over.
Stand by.
Stand by to stand by.
Stand by to stand by.
Yeah, you're ready to be a cop for one call, Jeremy. I got faith in you. You can.
Yep.
Most of the time, this is a real thing. Like I would get dispatched by myself to a single, 2-car accident, right? Just to do driver's exchange, make sure that they give each other their insurance, to make sure they both have valid licenses. So this is a normal call, and you're not going with 2 people. You're going by yourself.
Yep.
So on that last half call, that was dispatch sends you to a location and no one's there.
Yes, you're going to a location that's known.
No, I mean no one was there. Now we got to go to the next call, which is this one.
Right. Exactly. I got what you're saying. I got you. Are you ready?
Okay, let's go. Oklahoma City.
Was located, I'll have to write you a ticket for improper U-turn. Whenever you complete a U-turn,
I didn't U-turn.
hold on. Whenever you complete a U-turn, you're supposed to be as far to that corner as possible. Okay?
Yes, they have another car in front of her. That's why, I cannot parking behind her.
Okay. Well, you are required to go as far away between. You're not supposed to be between any cars. You're supposed to be against that curb line.
Stand by.
Yeah, I think it's having a hard time playing.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, man.
Hang on. See if we can.
Okay. Whenever you make a U-turn,
I didn't make a U-turn.
Sorry. Let me clarify, okay? Whenever you enter a little intersection thing like that, you are not allowed to go side by side next to a car. Okay? You have to go behind vehicles.
Hey, you are the police.
Yes.
So you know
okay.
How many cars?
We are done, sir. No, we're done arguing about this, okay? We are not We are not arguing about this, okay?
I want to show you.
We argue in court. We argue in court.
You take the phone and
we argue in court.
No,
we don't argue on the side of the road. We argue in court. Yes, that's how it works. Because if not, if you don't sign this, you go to jail. Okay?
Yeah,
I don't want to take you to jail.
I'm ready to go to jail.
You ready to go to jail?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay, that involves impounding your car too. Okay.
My husband, we stay here waiting for go to here. We're not U-turn.
Okay, it doesn't matter about a U-turn or whatever. That lane,
and I heard,
you can't.
I heard she hit us.
I understand that, but you're not. You see where that car's at? Whenever you enter that area, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to leave any space at all. You're not supposed to leave any space at all.
You see that 2 car?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
I am the
The
tough
way
guy.
where
I'm the
your
tough
vehicle
guy.
was located, your
Tough
vehicle was
guy.
not like that.
Sit up.
No.
All right. What do you got there, Jeremy?
Gosh, what? So he slapped him?
Hit him
I
right in the
guess
chest.
my instinctive reaction would likely be to grab the hand.
Okay.
But then, okay, what?
Break it down from the beginning. What do you have when you arrived?
So I've got probably ticket book or
Okay.
the citation book.
All right.
And the pen. So I guess my hands are full, obviously.
Okay.
But then you have
say it. What do you got?
Older gentleman that's
Language barrier, right?
Yeah, there's a language barrier, and so he's not able to communicate efficiently what he wants to say. So now he assumes, I suppose, right off the bat, sir, please get back in your car, because obviously stepping out, and then I'm thinking about, okay, are we in a safe place? I couldn't tell. I guess that was out of traffic because I'm obviously
in a parking lot.
Parking lot.
Okay, so then he is, I guess, okay, looks like he wants to explain things, but like the officer said, sir, this isn't the time. We can't do this. Let's just wrap it up. Now, the officer said if he didn't sign it, I thought that you could still issue a citation without them signing it.
You have an option, right?
You can now.
You have an option. If they don't sign it, you can just say refuse to sign and just throw the piece of paper in his car. If he takes it, he takes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But he also has the right to a quick trial, right? By taking him to jail, you're guaranteeing that, right?
Yeah.
So, and towing his vehicle is just a little jab to say, hey, if you don't sign it, you're going to jail, and I'm going to take your car, and I'm going to charge you, or whatever the tow company charges, $150 a day while it's in there. Just another little jab on his backside. So
a little bit of a scare tactic to try to get him to make him want to sign the ticket. We don't want to take him to jail and impound the car. We want him to just sign the ticket. So he's saying, hey, man, if you don't sign the ticket, I got to impound your car also. So it's a little, like Gonzo said, a little jab to hopefully make him just sign the ticket so they can both be done with this, right? He made an illegal U-turn. Not a big deal. Maybe he clipped somebody or whatever. Still not a big deal. So now so he hits the cop. So now he just hits you, Jeremy. Now you have two choices. You either let it go or you're going to take him in custody. Which do you do?
Battery on a police officer.
Now, was it to me, was it a real battery? No, but he just hit you in the chest. What are you going to do? You want to take him let me ask you this. You want to take him into custody because he's older? Do you want to do it in a gentle way, or is now the time to be firm and real strict with this guy? Which one?
I personally do not like the optics of taking down an old man. I recognize that he's frustrated, and in my mind, the officer escalated by threatening, "Hey, we can take you to jail and take your car." Like, sir, I understand, but let's style this down. Like,
so him hitting you him smacking you in the chest was not a big deal to you.
In this situation, to me, no. I understand, because
I agree.
Like, I recognize the frustration he has in his lack of communication skills.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Yeah.
Like, if this is young, I don't know, punk kid or something, I see a different scenario.
Correct.
In this situation, I recognize that the old man just can't. He's frustrated. He's scared. He's like, no.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what this cop does. See if he takes your advice. That's good advice, Jeremy.
Oh God!
Watch the next side.
Yeah, I'm gonna call an ambulance.
Look at his head.
112 Hefner, roll me fire and incident of supervisor.
Is he unconscious? Oh no.
Yep.
That's
Keep
grandpa.
watching. Keep watching.
Man, that's lawsuit right there.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was charged with felony assault.
Yeah,
That
he's
police
over
officer.
65. Yeah. See, I was baiting you, Jeremy.
Broken neck, broken eye socket, and some other stuff.
I was baiting you, Jeremy, to see if you would fall for it, to see if like if you were going to take it. But you know what? You're a reasonable person, yeah. You're just a normal person, right? Just like the rest of us. Do you really need to hammer a dude who's 70 years old to the ground like that? No. Do you need to take a hit to the chest like with the backhand? No. I've had people hit me a million times on duty because especially Italian people, they talk, they hit your shoulder, right? It's not in a threatening way. It's just like, hey, listen to me. And to me personally, I don't care because I knew it wasn't a bad thing. Some cops take it way too personal, way too serious.
This is what I want to say from the very get-go, Brian, Jeremy. Did the officer have control of the scene?
No.
He did not. Right?
Right off the bat, as he got out of the car, he's backing it like he just keeps giving him more room, giving him more room.
Yep. When you have a language barrier issue, you gotta go slow. You have to go slow. Tell me again, explain to me again, and you have another person there that could communicate with them, translate, whatever the case may be. You have to use the tools that's around you, the resources that are around you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Explain to him what's going on, but you have to maintain control. You're in charge there. And the other thing that we kind of get taught here in Vegas is we have a large culture here. Asian community, the older people, you have to give them respect, right?
Yeah.
By doing that, you're going to earn their respect, and then you can start talking and communicating a little bit better. But it's not a dynamic scene. You can take the whole time to get things done. You don't have to rush things out. He wanted to get that baker and on his way to go, right? Take your time. We have times on our side. B, go ahead.
No, and I don't think Gonzo and I have ever taken down anybody who's over like 55. There's no reason to. You can overpower them. They're obviously this guy is older, he's weaker, his bones are more brittle, the skin, right, as you get older, gets thinner like tissue paper.
Yeah.
If I took that dude down to the ground hard, I'm gonna hurt him. There's no reason, but this guy can't hurt me.
Exactly.
Again, it's being confident and humble, knowing, okay, this guy's older than me. Clearly, he's not a danger to me. Now, if he has a gun, can he pull the trigger? Well, of course. But right now, when we're talking just this scenario alone, hand to hand, can this man really hurt me in hand-to-hand combat? No. So why am I going to do that to him? Just, hey, shit, if anything, you don't even have to give him a ticket. You have discretion. It was an illegal U-turn. Okay, who gives a shit? You know what? Have a nice day.
I was gonna say, to be honest, so I was at an Army training out of town, rental car, and I was at a fast food place, and a man behind me in the line bumped in, ran into my car. He didn't stop, and so pulled over. I looked at it. I talked to, I was like, man, this is a rental car. I don't really see a mark. Let's just, I could, the guy was just, he said, I messed up. I'm sorry. Like, I just let him go. Like, I'm like,
yeah. Sometimes it just ain't worth it. Sometimes it's not worth it. Like, hey, have a nice day.
Yep.
I mean, now in that case, I assume if I was the police officer that I'm going to let him go, I probably would at least be a little more firm. Like, hey, let's talk about this though. I'm gonna let you go, but please, kind of scare him a little bit, scare straight, like.
Yeah. Well, we have a rule in Vegas, right? You either chew their ass or you give them a ticket. You don't do both.
You don't do both.
So if you're going to chew their ass, chew it. But then, hey, the reason I chewed your butt is because of this. I'm just trying to help you out. You know, when I would catch people in muscle cars speeding a little bit and, in the middle of the night, it's not crowded out. They're not hurting anybody. You got a Cobra Mustang. Of course you're going to be going fast on the highway in the middle of the night. I would stop them, chat with them a little bit, let them be on their way. Because you know what? They're thinking smart. I'm out here. There's nobody. I'm only endangering myself, sir. I just want to open it up a little bit. I get that. We get that. We're humans. Oh shit! If
But
I had the Cobra Mustang, I'd be doing the same thing.
when I was 19, I I got pulled over by CHP, and it's an older officer, but I guess it was for following me too close. But he walked
Right.
up to the car, didn't have his ticket book, talked to me, but my attitude, like I was like, I don't know, officer, I was like 10 and 2, like I just copped the biggest attitude, and he's like, I'll be right back. Goes and gets his ticket book, and
That's right.
then I went to the traffic court, and he was on the stand first, and he's like, man, I don't think this guy will ever get it. And by then I had time to, I get up there and just, I was wrong. I had a bad
Yep.
attitude. I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Like 50, drop down to $50.
There you go.
But it was all my fault because I ran my mouth. He was gonna just give me a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let me say this. Let me say this. When you're a police officer, if you have a big ego, that's gonna get you in trouble fast.
Yeah.
You have to be humble. You have
gotta
to be
be
humble.
You got to be humble.
You have to empathize and sympathize with people. If you can't
Yep.
do that, man, it's gonna be a rough go, man.
Yeah.
You gotta have patience too.
Yeah.
A lot of patience.
You have to have the patience of Job. You got to have patience, man. You're correct.
Like,
You did good,
in
Jeremy.
college, I
You did good.
Good job, Jeremy.
Thank you. I did customer service in college, and it's the same thing. You got to be patient with these people.
Oh yeah.
Pissed
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
For sure. We appreciate you calling in.
Thank you,
Get your
Jeremy.
shirt size and whatever you want over to our website and send it over to Steve, and we'll get you a shirt, buddy.
Sounds good.
All right, bud. Thanks,
All right.
man. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Happy
Take
holidays.
care. You too.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
Merry Christmas.
He did good.
He did, man.
I was
And the
trying to
thing
bait him. I was trying to bait him.
I know you. I saw you what you're trying to do, but
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to pick that one because it's a threat. Is it a threat? It's not a threat, right? The old man's not gonna be a threat.
That's not a threat. Him smacking you. Come on, man.
The problem that we have here is that the officer had no patience and didn't like what he didn't like what the response he was getting.
Yeah,
Okay?
he was.
He
got
would
a
have
little
patience. He did.
Yeah, he got a little aggravated, a little too
You know,
quick.
it might have been the end of the day. Who knows what part of the shift this guy was, right?
Yep.
I want to
Could have
get
been
out of
waiting to go
here.
home.
Now I got to do a traffic. Now I got to do an arrest. Now he's got to do a lot more because he's, fucking, what is he, a felony assault?
Should have just scratched him a ticket. Here's your copy, sir. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can explain it to people as much as you want. If they're not going to get it, they're not going to get it.
You're
My job
right.
on the side of the street is to school you on all traffic laws.
Yeah.
Look, you should know that when you get your license. I can help you out for a minute or two, but if there's a big language barrier, look, man, here's your ticket. I'll see you in court. Have a good day.
Yep.
And then because the officer can end it anytime he wants. Here's your ticket. Here you go. Well, I'm not taking that. So you crumple it up, throw it in his window. Who cares? And you leave, right?
Yep.
But now you've won. You're good. Your hands are clean, right?
Yep. Now he's gonna be going to prison, poor guy.
Yeah, I mean the smack on the chest. I mean, come on, he's an older guy. That's I do that. I'm Italian. I'm half Italian, half Russian. I hit people all the time.
I know you hit me all the time.
I hit you all the time. It's just who I am. So does that mean if I smacked an officer on the shoulder, he should kick my ass? Come on. Come on. You got to know what a battery is and when people are just being people. You got to know that difference. It's not hard.
Good stuff, man. I like that. Do you think that's something we should start doing more often?
Yeah, I like them.
Doing
I like them.
a
I think they need to be a little shorter, maybe like a 20, 30 seconds. That way it's kind of just react.
No, you have to have the scenario, dude. You have to have the scenario.
Yeah, build up is good because it makes it gives them that anticipation because they don't know when it's coming.
Exactly. Devo.
Like, is it going to happen in the first 10 seconds or do I got to wait a whole minute?
Yep.
We got currently we've got 232 people in the chat watching the show. We've only got 225 badooshas to that like button.
Let's go badoosh it.
So
What's
take a
going
second, please.
on?
Badoosh that like button.
It.
You might get fireworks like me.
No, not gonna happen now.
No. Oh man.
You shot your load.
We got some super chats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where isn't the like? I think it's on Brian's side.
I
Super
see
chats.
LV Cops right there, but I don't see a like button.
Well, it's yeah.
Maybe there.
We got a $5 super chat from Christy, a painter's daughter. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
She
Merry
said,
Christmas.
"You always bring great content. Merry Christmas."
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Holy macaroni.
We got a $10 super chat from Christine F, aka K-Fan. She says, "Thank you for all you do. Merry Christmas to you and your families."
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Yes.
Everybody.
So let me say this. Lisa Jane was saying, an old man can't run away from you. Let me tell you this, Miss Lisa. I had a person in a wheelchair take off on me.
And he got away. Yeah.
You can't catch me, copper.
He had one of those high-speed ones.
Was it electric?
It was Olympic style.
Oh.
Like 30 miles an hour.
We got a $20 super chat from Judy Besteri.
Thank you.
Thank you. She says, "Love, B, and Steve. Merry Christmas."
Merry Christmas.
Wait a minute. Say that again?
Love, B, and Steve. Merry Christmas.
Love you too. Merry Christmas.
You see that on the screen? Love you too. She says you too. She's talking about me and Brent.
I'm gonna hit the red X button on my phone here.
All right, it says love you too. You guess which two.
Let's go.
Thank you, Judy. And Kathy G, 20 pounds. Thank you.
20.
She says happy Christmas, B and Steve.
There's a G there.
Oh yeah. Happy Christmas, G, B, and Steve.
Yeah.
To you and your families. Thank you, Kathy. And I've been seeing Scott McGinnis throw a lot of good stuff in the chat. I know he does
I've seen him too. Yeah, I've seen him too. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, he does a lot out there, and he's also helping us moderate. So Scott, one of these days we got to get you on and chat for a bit because I believe he's got law enforcement experience.
I want to get to know everybody on our chat, man. They need to start calling in and saying, "What's up?"
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. We're just normal people.
I want to see
like
you
everybody
guys type in the chat fun size Gonzo. I want to see how many you'll type that up right now.
Somebody mentioned something about the qualified immunity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me get to that one.
That was
let me put it on screen here. Somebody named Melissa B. She was one of our early fans. She's now a moderator. She says, "Can you discuss the benefit of qualified immunity for officers and why that's important?"
Qualified immunity stops us from getting penalized criminally, but it doesn't protect us civilly.
Right?
If I'm correct, and I'm pretty sure I am. It protects us criminally, but not civilly.
Give an example.
Like say you violate somebody's civil rights, right? And then you end up
clarify. Unknowing that you violated his rights.
Right. Unknowing you violate somebody's rights and then you hurt them. We're not going to get in trouble for any criminal conduct, right? But on the civil side, if we hurt them and they sue us civilly, the department's not going to back you. You're going to be out on your own.
Yep.
They'll protect you criminally, but not civilly.
Yep.
If that makes sense. So this way that helps that way police officers can act and not have to worry about, oh my gosh, now I might go to jail for this. Now, obviously, if it's clear and present, like a straight up murder, right, or a straight up homicide, then well, you might be screwed.
Yeah.
But this way cops can act and not have to worry. Like Gonzo said, can you think of everything that you know as a police officer and all your training on every single call and act in a split second? No, you got to just act. So that's where qualified immunity comes in.
Yep.
Have you seen all these fun-sized Gonzos popping on the screen?
I do.
We got a couple fun-sized ride-alongs too.
She's also fun-sized. Angel.
Fun-sized Gonzo chasing an electric wheelchair.
Yeah.
And look at that
Oh,
little
you
emoji.
should see my legs, man. My legs were like lightning.
I
We
used
got
to
a lot of
laugh.
people in the.
You could always hear Gonzo when he was running because he was always like this. It was always like, and you'd always hear his keys jingling. His keys jingling. That's how when I shot the dude who came at us with the knives, that's how I knew Gonzo was there. I heard him running up the driveway, and then I heard the keys jingling. Jing, 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 jing. I didn't even look. I knew it was him.
Yeah, it's my calling card.
I could tell by the foot stomps.
Yes, sir. So, hey, I want to know if our people, our ride-alongs, liked our little skit scenario, and should we do more of them in the future? So,
yeah, did you like it or did you not like it? If you don't like it,
thumbs
it's okay.
up.
You can be honest, and we'll
Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up or thumbs down. Yeah, I like it. I thought it was fun. It kind of makes you feel like you're a cop for a minute or two. You know what I mean?
Well,
It
and-
makes you think.
Yeah, and it shows it's not freaking easy. You can armchair quarterback all day long. Again, the hindsight 2020 thing. But when you've got seconds,
yeah,
and it's rough. So I get
sucks.
it. I think it's awesome.
It sucks.
I feel like that guy from Rome. The guy said, "Live or die." Right?
Oh, the emperor.
I'm seeing all these thumbs coming up. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna live another day, B. We're gonna live another day, Steve.
Cool. I liked them. I thought they were fun.
Yeah, how many donuts would you give the little scenarios here? If you like these scenarios, throw a bunch of donuts in the chat. If you didn't like them, give the thumbs down. In the meantime, we've got a Venmo from Mary Ball, $50. Thank you, Mary.
Wow. Thank you, Mary. Wow.
She says donation to the cop daddies. It's cop daddy fun. You know, we really want to go back to mass if trial number 2 happens and be there for
Whoa,
that. Join the standouts.
9,875 donuts. Wow.
That's a lot of donuts.
We're gonna be fat, buddy.
It's worth the risk.
Somebody hit no donuts. I hope that was an accident. The donuts with the cross. Another super chat from Angel. What's your guys' opinion on gun safety being taught in schools and or teachers being able to carry? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I would like to see more teachers be armed, just because the more weapons you have, the safer the rooms are going to be, right?
Yeah.
Now, can you make a safe room in each room? You know, make it, bulletproof or whatever the case may be. You could do that too. But like we were talking earlier today, when there's a means, there's going to be a ways. I mean, doesn't have to be a gun. It could be a pipe bomb. It could be some type of a device that could be made over the YouTubes, So it's a tough deal.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
I like the fact of teachers being armed. I think that's a great idea. If the teacher is competent, has proven their competency, and they want to be armed.
Yeah.
Not everybody that can carry a gun should carry a gun, right? Yep. And not only that, but I think to me there needs to be a lot of serious scenario training, sim round type stuff with these teachers. Not just, hey, can you shoot a target? Most people can shoot a target just standing there. Shooting a person, very different. Very different. So,
especially a kid. So they need to do sim rounds, right? Which is a fake round, but it hits you, right? It looks like a real bullet, but it's actually hits you at about 300-400 feet per second. They need to do that training, so this way they understand and feel what it's like to actually see somebody at least getting hit, right? And they need to experience that, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree.
Well,
and
let me be.
As far as gun safety being taught, you could. I mean, it never hurts. I don't think it's going to stop anybody from doing something bad, though.
No.
Yeah.
And devil's advocate to that. So now you've got a classroom full of kids, especially teenagers, junior high, high school. These kids know, hey, teacher's packing.
Yeah.
So now let's 3, 4, 5 of us gang up. Boom. Like you say, when the cop gets in a fight, now there's a gun in a fight.
Yeah.
So now that gun is at risk. That gun is at risk of being taken.
You'd have to put it in a secure location first.
It's
put
tricky,
it in the safe.
Yeah. For a school shooter scenario, it'd be good. But for an everyday scenario where there's kids acting up in the class,
Yeah.
that gets tricky.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sometimes life is, it's just life.
It's freaking hard, man.
It sucks, yeah. But sometimes it's just, like I said, it's the human aspect, and you'll never change that. So
We've got another super chat from Pass the Pepper. Thank you.
please pass the pepper.
She says, yeah, Pass the Pepper, another frequent ride along. Thank you for educating us, your kindness and compassion. Merry Christmas to the entire LV Cops TV family.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
And
Happy holidays.
Happy
another
holiday.
one.
Like Merry Christmas.
We've got 5 pounds from Chaz Defunk, I believe. That's how you would say that. She said, can you wish my amazing twin boys, Leon and Theo, a Merry Christmas? They bring me so much joy.
And Theo.
Thank you for your great content from the UK.
Yes, we can. Leo and Theon.
Yes, we can.
Happy
Leo.
holidays to you.
Leo.
Listen to your mother,
Theon.
Leo.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Listen to your mom. Or we will come.
Good.
And
Yeah.
beat you for her.
You don't want
kids
that,
need
buddy.
kids need a butt whooping sometimes, man. You know.
We got lots of donuts in the chat, so I think people like the scenarios. We love bringing you guys on. I think it's great. You know, there's lots of YouTubers that bring on other YouTubers, and we do that too. We just had Lacey from X.
Yeah.
But we like having you guys.
Yep.
You know,
Trying to cross that bridge. Trying to cross that bridge.
I agree. YouTubers is fun, but I think the subs are
the people. The people.
The people. You guys are what makes the engine go, and we want to meet you.
So, also, I want to say this. I want to take the time to say this. We're trying to get a collaboration between myself, Steve, and Brian of some exclusive shirts that we're going to only make a small limited run. But we're going to try to do a couple of things, maybe a hat, a shirt, and some other item in these little boxes. Let us know what you guys think, and we should do something like that. But they're going to be pretty cool, exclusive little shirts that we're coming up with. So hopefully in the next little while, we'll do that.
One of a kind.
One of a kind.
One of a kind. Be made once, and that's it.
Yeah. Angel suggests that we should take phone calls because some people don't want to be on camera. When we could do that, and I've seen a lot of other people like Declare do that. But with this, this gives you the option to be with video or not. You can elect to just turn off your video and leave the mic on, and we'll bring you on that way too. So you can use that link. Yeah, use that link that we put up in the chat and just bring you on.
I only have like 1,200 minutes on my client card, so I can't be doing it all the time.
Yeah, if you don't want your face on the screen, it's okay. We understand. But you shouldn't feel bad about putting your face on there. I mean, we do it all the time.
Come out of your shell. Come out of your shell. Have the courage to do it, man. We're a big proponent of having courage and being brave.
Yeah, it's okay.
Lacey Jane wants to put you guys through some scenarios.
Nice. We'll
do
your
fifth.
scenarios.
I'll be the fifth.
What would you do? Retire. I'm not putting up with this crap.
That's right. Done. Lived it. Done it.
Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt.
Well, we're at 2 hours 23 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys, what do you think?
We can do another video. What else is in there that we have that we can do? We can do Frank. What's his name? Frank Tyson. Frank Tyson. He was the guy that got whacked by some cops there in where was it at? Shoot, I can't remember.
Was it?
Okay.
I don't remember.
We do.
I see the video.
Yeah, we should probably get some recorded stuff because there's more holidays coming up, and we're not.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Let's
not going to be able to go live a lot.
Let's put a fork in.
We supposed to do a lot of recording today. We had a busy day planned today, but G got real sick. I'm not feeling real great. So we're social distancing.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Just a reminder that the profits from our shop, our merch, is going to Karen Reed Fund.
Oh yeah.
A lot of sweaters. B, show yours. Can you hear me, B? Yeah. He's just got the LV Cops TV logo. It was a lot of Cop Daddies hoodies.
Yeah, this is a nice
those things are flying off the shelves. So thank you so much for those.
Very warm.
Again, those profits are going to go to Karen Reed.
This is extra large, I think. Yeah, extra large. A little tight around the neck when you put it on, first put it on, but
if you send us a picture, we will share it. We'll share it here during one of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I am still working on the video we did out in Mass. Life's been crazy, and I took a vacation and just went off the grid. But that's coming soon. I'm almost done.
Hey,
any updates from you guys?
Hold on a second. There was a chat on their message of somebody's birthday. Did you see that?
Whose birthday?
Said somebody's birthday was up there.
We guys just wished a birthday. There was another one?
It said something about my son's birthday or something like that.
Well, let's say happy birthday.
Well, the twins. If there's another one, please put it back in the chat and I'll keep an eye.
Yeah.
But you guys are awesome. I love the ride-alongs.
Speaking of birthday, I just had mine a few days ago.
Damn, you're old.
57 years old. Check us.
I'm gonna start calling you Santa.
Yes, sir. Look at that beard, dude. Holy macaroni.
Looks good. Looks perfect.
Look at Steve's. All right,
got to get that V going more.
Let's put a fork on it, my guy. Thank you all for everybody watching.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you for
you
joining us
guys
today.
supporting us. Even though we're kind of weird kind of dudes, we try to spit it out the way we can to where it makes sense. You know, we try to tell things laymanly so people can understand what we're saying. That's how I process things in my head. You got to tell me like I'm a 3.
It ain't rocket science, people. You just got to have a little bit of a brain and use it.
My son's birthday, Ange.
Son's birthday is Christmas Day.
Oh, okay.
Oh man,
Nice.
double Christmas presents. Double presents. Let's go.
Yeah,
Lots of
boy's
happy birthday,
is-
Gonzos.
My boy's birthday is the 28th. 3
Oh,
days
my
after
goodness.
Christmas.
Yeah.
A lot of Christmas or a lot of December birthdays.
Thank you. So, anything that we learned today, boys?
Being a cop is hard.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
And
What
being
about-
being a school
did-
student is hard.
What about did we learn about diarrhea being genetic?
It runs in your genes. It's running in my genes right now.
I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the ride-alongs, the road dogs, all of our subscribers. Please hit that badoosh button. Hit it.
Hit it. It helps us. It helps you because it helps us.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching.
And for those who are still serving, have a safe tour of duty, please.
And make a difference in someone's life. Stay classy, Las Vegas.
World.
And thank you for joining us, world.
Yeah, exactly.
And ride-alongs. You know who you are. And road dogs. And legends.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy
folks.
holidays. Merry Christmas. We'll see you soon. Peace.
1 Sam 5 and 1 Sam 6, copy of 425 call.
Copy. 1 Sam 5 en route.
1 Sam 6, copy, en route.